All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to LiveStream Under the Moonshine. This is episode number 184. This is part 8 of an Octave Higher. Now, yesterday was one of the best episodes, in my opinion, after we ended the game. The game was over surprisingly quick. After making a decision to have Franz not fight Frederick. And it ended really weird, I thought. It was kind of a really quick, odd ending. And so I went back after being, only but 15, 20 minutes into the stream last night and went back and made Franz fight Frederick just to see what happened, thinking it would be another short ending. But instead, that continued for over 2 hours on that branch, and we're still not done. So we're going to find out what continues to happen on this branch of the story. One thing surprised me last night was seeing exactly how much of a difference one decision can make in this game. Huge, vast differences based on how you play the game and how the choices you make go. So let me go ahead and start an Octave Higher, guys. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. And we were about to find out what happened to Frederick, or not to Frederick, but to, we were about to find out what happened. We know that on this branch, Franz turned into, he decided that, after having the fight with Frederick, and basically defeating him, he ended up 5 years later being one of the people, part of the, what am I thinking? He decided he was going against being one of the main guys that he was against this whole time. Malik says it's late, very late. I'm tired. Brookie Bear says, so what's up with a Swift Legend guy? I missed it. You'll have to go back and watch that live stream. With that, Brookie Bear, it looks like, killers all have their different things that they supposedly face cam for. A lot of killers think that it's perfectly okay to use, ebony moris and bring in, add-ons for their chainsaws, like, rusty chainsaws and grimy chainsaws, and make life very, very difficult or almost impossible for survivors. But oh my gosh, survivors sabo a hook or use a brand new part, they're going to get face camped. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we're going to continue with this game. We are going to find out what happens with Frederick here in this branch of the story. Alright. Let me turn down the music some. There we go. Alright, guys. Give me all your mana and mana potions. Give me all your money and mana potions if you don't want to get hurt. A few strides in front of me stands a proletariat man with a very foolish hand pointed at me. Lately, there have been a lot of incidences where citizens are being attacked by Pearl scum, but I never thought I'd be targeted. I didn't think that they'd be that stupid. My would-be mugger glades at me, his hand aimed high at my face, and to think, his aura reeks of intelligence. I take a step forward. I'm serious, I will really hurt you. I take another step. Stop or else. And another step. Summon. So this guy uses intelligence magic to summon water. Water gushes from his hand, but I sidestep it and lunge forward. Another torrent of water. I adjust my movement slightly, just enough to get out of harm's way. Oh, yep. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Huh. Let me, there we go. Sorry about that. Thanks, Brookie Bear. So all that's happened is we are Lord Frederick now. We're having a water fight. Another one. This guy is... You know what? Let's go ahead and just to make sure, let's go ahead and restart from where we were. Right here. So the guy, basically the thug, says, "Give me all your money and mana potions if you don't want to get hurt." A few strides in front of me stands a proletariat man with a very foolish hand pointed at me. Now we are in the point of view of Lord Frederick right now. Lately, there have been a lot of incidences where citizens are being attacked by Pearl's scum, but I never thought I'd be targeted. I didn't think they'd be that stupid. My would-be mugger glades at me, his hand aimed high at my face, and to think his aura reeks of intelligence. I take a step forward. "I'm serious. I really will hurt you." I take another step. "Stop or else." And another step. "Summon." So the guy summons a magic spell at him. It's intelligence, it's water, and water gushes from his hand, but I sidestep it and lunge forward. Another torrent of water. I adjust my movement slightly, just enough to get out of harm's way. Another one. This guy is really impatient. He shouldn't pick a fight with anyone if he doesn't know how to fight on the street. This isn't a sorcerer arena. On the street, you can't just blindly cast magic spells. Victory is usually decided in only 1 or 2 clean hits. It's about making every spell count. The man panics when he realizes that I'm now very close to him. He awkwardly tries to cast another spell with his left hand, but I grab his wrist with my right hand and jerk it upwards. My left palm touches his chest. Summon willpower plus courage. For an instant, the sky flashes white, lightning strikes, accompanied by a clap of thunder. The man's whole body convulses, his eyes roll backwards, and he falls limp to the ground. Boring. Since the proles started attacking people in the city, I've been helping the police apprehend criminals. I thought it would at least be more fun than playing Sorcerer. That game stopped being fun for me about 3 years ago. Wow, so Frederick stopped playing Sorcerer. Unfortunately, these proles aren't very challenging. Libertad members, so yeah, in this branch, if you missed it, Brookie Bear, you'd have to go back and listen to last night, but in this branch, Franz ends up joining and being the leader of Libertad. Yeah, Franz is a member of Libertad and the leader of Libertad. So Libertad members put up a better fight than ordinary proles, but even they aren't that good. But I'm going to keep hunting these Libertons. I have to. Because the greatest criminal of them is the Libertad leader, Amadeus. So Frederick here doesn't know that Franz is actually Amadeus. Much has been said about this man, but little is known about him. What are his gifted magical traits? How does he fight? And how strong is he? As the leader of Libertad, he must be he must have very powerful magic. The police are terrified of him, but personally, I can't wait to fight him. He's a trophy. Beating him would bring glory greater than winning any sorcerer championship. Amadeus is mine. So here we go, guys. Here is the fight between Frederick and Franz that we was talking about. However, they've already fought. And in that fight, 5 years ago, Franz beat Frederick. So now there's going to be yet another fight, huh? At home, my father is talking with a professor from Conservatoire de Overture. Oh, good afternoon, young lord. Good afternoon. My father throws me a subtle glance that spells his disapproval with the way of my returning the professor's greeting. In his eyes, the professor is a more respectable person than his own son. Ha, so Jeff. My father's attention returns to the professor. Is the demo unit ready? Yes. Perfect. Then we'll transport it to the conservatoire tomorrow. We can't transport it yet, John. Oh, why is that? Even though it's just a demo unit, it's still bigger than an omnibus. I don't think it can go through the conference hall door. Oh, I see. That means it will have to be taken apart and reassembled inside the hall. Yes. Well, fortunately, it's the weekend, so there aren't many people in the conservatoire. We'll transport the parts tonight, then your engineers and technicians can assemble them on Sunday. On Moon Day, we will completely seal the conference hall so no one will see the professor pauses and glances at me for a second before speaking to my father again. So, no one will see the demo unit before the big reveal on Fire Day. Does this arrangement work for you? He just censored himself. What is it they don't want me to hear? I heard the word annul. What is so secret about annuls that can't be permitted to be that I listen in? Yes. Good. Moving on to Fire Day. The old man takes out a folded piece of paper from his pocket, unfolds it, and reads, We'll start at 10 o'clock. Your demo unit will be on stage. Front curtain closed. Reminds me of Mr. Poe from Bold Air Children's series of Unfortunate Events. Oh yeah, I know that. I've never seen that, Murky Bear. You'll start the presentation with an opening speech followed by a technical explanation from your lead researcher, Aretha Blyton. That should take roughly half an hour. Then we'll do the demonstration. That should take about 15 minutes. And then you'll handle the rest of the presentation until 11. Is that right? Yes. Still not a man of many words, are you, Joff? Whatever, John. Ha ha ha. Anyway, according to the schedule, our staff will be ready to open the curtain at around 10:30. Well, I should be getting back to the conservatoire. See you on Fire Day, Joff. Thank you for your work, Johan. See you on Fire Day. The professor turns to me and gives me a small, courteous bow. Goodbye, young lord. Goodbye. He leaves me and my father alone in the room. There aren't many things Father and I can talk about, so before I'm forced to listen to another of his lectures about how I'm just wasting my time every day picking fights with thugs on the street, I think I'll just go to my room. His accusation isn't even true. It's usually the thugs who pick a fight with me. Usually. Well, Before I finish speaking, however, I'm interrupted by the professor's voice from outside. Oh, if it isn't Miss Blyton. A bright female voice answers him. Hi, Professor Poe. And Miss Shelley, it's been a long time. What? Miss Shelley? A reply comes in a different female voice, softer and more dignified. Good afternoon, Professor Poe. It has indeed been a long time. I am deeply honored that you still remember me. Likewise, Miss Shelley. I too am honored to be remembered. Ah, even little Janice is here. Hi, Poe. A third female voice. Why are there so many women coming here all of a sudden? Little Janice? I suggest you forget ever hearing that, girl. Ho ho ho, I wish I could stay longer and chat with you ladies, but time isn't quite agreeable with me today. I hope to talk to you sometime, Miss Shelley. It would be a great pleasure, Professor. Goodbye, ladies. Goodbye, Professor. Ciao, Professor. All these different voices I gotta make for this novel. The professor's voice is gone, and his footsteps echo down the hall. The door opens. Oh wow, so we got Aretha, we got Janice, Wolf, and we got somebody else here. 3 women enter the room. The first one, loud and cheerful, is an magical mechanical engineer who has been having frequent meetings with my father and other magical mechanical executives lately. Commander Janice Wolf is also here. I often see her at the police station when I come to hand over a criminal. But this is the first time I've seen her together with the engineer woman. And the last one, Elise. Oh, this is Elise. Okay. The Elise. The girl I haven't seen for 5 years. Oh wow, she looks a lot different. My last memory of Elise is her screaming, "You should be in jail!" at me with tears in her eyes. Oh, when he cut off Franz's hands after the fight. She was mad at me for cutting Franz's hands off. She said it was my fault that Franz went missing without anyone knowing what happened to him. She said I should be thrown in prison for this crime, and the only reason I wasn't was because I was the son of Lord Godwin. But that's wrong. They didn't put me behind bars because what I did wasn't a crime. It was self-defense. And since Franz, who Elise saw as the victim, was nowhere to be found, there was nothing to prosecute me for. But Elise was so convinced that I was wrong, and she hated me. Does she still hate me? I'm sure she does, because he's pretty hateable. That is messed up. A quick glimpse at her face is all I need to know that yes, she still does. She stares at me with eyes full of hatred for an awkward second before averting her eyes. Elise despises me. How many times have I made Elise angry? A lot. I don't think she'll ever forgive me. Now that I think about it, I guess the magical mechanical engineer hates me too. Oftentimes, this woman can't keep her mouth shut when talking with my father and the magical mechanical executives, but she never talks to me. I only realize it now, but her eyes bear the same hate for me as Elise's. That's right. I remember that she, too, was a friend of Franz's. Yep, so she hates him too, obviously. Aretha. And the wolf says, "Oh, the young Godwin's here too. Perfect." Huh, perfect? What is this about, Janice? Libertad. My eyebrows twitch for a moment, but then his usual face returns. What about them? These two girls came to the police station to report about Amadeus. I brought them here because I thought you would want to hear it. Amadeus? Have they found Amadeus? Shit, I can't let Wolf take the best part. I should be the one to catch him. Yes, I did request to hear any important information regarding Libertad immediately. What about Amadeus? The girl said she met him last night. Wolf points at Elise. Me? Not saw? Met, not saw? Elise says, I met him, my lord. He spoke to me. Yep, because she did meet who she thinks is Amadeus, but it was really Franz. Tell us everything. Elise tells us about how Amadeus had waited for her near her house, led her to an abandoned factory, and talked her into joining Libertad. I see. Interesting. Amadeus had also told Elise about how my father had been responsible for the prole's life of poverty. I don't care about what my father did or does, but Amadeus was talking nonsense here. It's called business, you moron. And Aretha says, this is hard to swallow for me no matter how many times I hear the story. Elise, are you really okay? Did Amadeus hurt you? I'm fine, Aretha. He didn't cast a single spell. In fact, Elise suddenly falls silent. In fact, what? No, nothing. Anyway, wait a minute. Anyway, Amadeus never tried to attack me at all. And Wolf says, why'd Amadeus want to recruit you? You're not even a prole. I thought Libertad hated the bourgeois. Amadeus seemed to know my past. He knew that I came from the proles. That bastard knew your past? Yes, he even knew my name. Wolf closes her eyes, pondering about something. A long breath later, she opens them again and looks at Elise sharply. That can only mean that he's someone that you used to know. Don't you remember anyone like him? I couldn't see his face. He wore a hood that covered most of his face. Well, try to remember, girl. Amadeus must be a prole who knew you back when you were still living among them. Chances are you knew him too. Huh. And Aretha says, maybe you and Amadeus used to work at the same factory? I don't remember anyone like him. Or was it someone who lived at Maison de Beauvoir? No man lived at the Maison de Beauvoir. A customer? Most customers didn't know me. Besides, almost everyone who came to Maison was a bourgeois or an aristocrat. Wolf says, no other ideas? No. Elise seems to be hesitating. Wolf probes deep into Elise's eyes, but doesn't say a word. If she can't remember, she'll just have to meet him again. Yes, that's the plan. What? No, that's too dangerous. What if something happens to her? And Wolf says, the police will protect her, of course. But... it's alright, Aretha. I don't mind helping the police. Elise? Wolf says, we'll make her safety our top priority, I promise. Some dragoons will join me. Dragoons? Is she talking about the mages in the dragoon unit? I'd forgotten about the dragoon until I started working with the police a few years ago. Sure, I knew about the existence of an elite special forces unit in the police force, but I didn't remember its name. I finally remembered when I learned that Wolf was the commander of the Special Forces unit. So she wants to mobilize Dragoon to catch Amadeus. Well, since Amadeus has become such a serious problem, the king will definitely approve their mobilization. Wolf is really serious about catching Amadeus. Commander Wolf, I'd like to offer my help in this operation. Hearing my sudden offer, the commander throws me a glance and smiles slyly. Ha, I knew it. Joff, do you mind if your son tags along? Don't ask me. He'd go even if I forbade him. I'd rather he went with you than go off by himself and get captured. I'm not going to get captured by Libertad. Oh, forgetful, are we? Damn you. It wasn't my fault that Libertad captured me 5 years ago. I'm going too. Huh? This isn't a game, girl. I have to make sure that Elise is not going to get hurt. Elise says, Aretha, you don't have to. I'll be fine. I'm doing this, Elise. Aretha's face is set. She won't take no for an answer. Aretha. Well, if you die, it's not my problem. And Lord Goblin says, Janice, I need her for Fireday's presentation. Geez, fine. Wolf shakes her head slowly. I'll make sure she can at least still speak when she gets back. Huh. Annalise says, how will I meet Amadeus? Okay, here's the plan. You'll ask around in a Pearls district until you find a Libertad member. Then ask him to convey a message to Amadeus saying that you want to join Libertad. Amadeus will find you again for sure, and we'll ambush and catch him then. I see. Do you think you can do that, little lady? Yeah. Good. Alright. Hey, what's up, Diane? How you doing, girl? We all go to the Pearls district not far from the abandoned factory where Elise had talked with Amadeus last night. Elise walks alone, at times stopping to ask people if they know about Libertad. Of course they do, and where she may find a Libertan. No one seems to have a definitive answer for her. Wolf, Aretha, and I tell Elise from a good distance, closely watching her and her surroundings for any signs of trouble. She's our bait. and we're lost without her. After wandering the streets and interrogating pearls for close to an hour, Elise finds a man who seems to be a libertine. Excuse me, are you a libertine? Huh. The man returns Elise's question with a quiet glare. I don't like that glare, so I slowly raise my magic power, getting ready to attack the libertine if he dares try anything funny. I feel Aretha doing the same, but then Wolf looks at us and shakes her head. You're a libertine, aren't you? What if I am? When the libertine finally speaks, he does so with a hostile tone. I have a message for your leader, Amadeus. Our big brother doesn't want any message from a little bourgeois like you. Wait, what's your name? Elise. Oh, Elise. Well, in that case, Amadeus will meet you after sundown, same place as yesterday. Yep, because he had told him, Franz, or Amadeus, had told that libertine member to tell, if he saw Elise, to tell her to meet her in the same place. That's all he had to say. The libertine leaves afterwards. Once he is out of sight, we approach Elise. Same place as yesterday means the abandoned factory. Instead of sending Amadeus a message, we receive a message from him instead. I don't like this. Why? He's expecting us. We could be walking into his trap. Can't you guys handle a trap? Of course we can. We're dragoons, lady. Then you can do it without Elise. Let's go home. No, Amadeus will wait until he sees Elise before showing himself. We can keep Elise safe. All we have to do is make sure there's no trap, right? There are still a few hours before sundown. Let's go to the factory now and examine the meeting place. Yes, that's what we'll do. If something isn't right, we'll pull out of there. I'll also have a dragoon be a lookout. If Amadeus doesn't come alone, we'll abort the operation. That's okay with you, Princess? Okay, I guess. Good. I'll go gather some dragoons. You guys get yourselves to the factory and wait for me there. Alright. Okay, let's go to the factory. Not you. Huh? Amadeus will get suspicious if he never sees you arrive. You'll go after sundown. Oh, okay. Elise. She looks at him. Look at that face. Yeah, she still hates him. Elise looks at me, but she doesn't say anything. Don't worry. I'll protect you no matter what. I promise. She looks away, again, without a word. Following Wolf's instruction, Aretha and I go to the factory where Elise and Amadeus will be meeting tonight, and we wait for Wolf and her dragoons to arrive. As usual, the engineer woman and I don't talk with each other. Like Elise, she hates me for cutting Franz's hands off, but I don't care what she thinks, so I let the silence hang between us while she's waiting for Wolf. And then 6 figures descend from the sky. 5 dragoons, each mounting his 1-seater carriage and their fearless commander, Commander Wolf. A dragoon doesn't need a magic spell to stupefy his enemy, for the sight of a dragoon atop his flying chair is enough to make anyone tremble in his boots. The elite of the elites, the most venerated special forces unit in Overture's police force. Every Overturian boy has dreamt of sitting on that floating throne. Wolf says, sorry to keep you waiting. I only brought 5 of my boys because I don't want us to attract too much attention. We'll have to hide ourselves inside the factory as well. But we have no worries. There is more than enough to waste in Amadeus, no matter how bad that son of a witch is. Glancing behind, the commander then says, let's get to work, boys. How you doing, Jeremy? What's up, dude? Welcome to streaming. We go inside the factory building where Elise and Amadeus had met yesterday and examine the place. The dragoons roam the factory in their carriages, looking over every crook and cranny to make sure that Amadeus hasn't set up any traps. We go inside every room and make sure they're all empty. We even peek inside the furnaces, and they're all empty, just large, hollow, cylindrical spaces. The only indication of the things ever having been used are the layers of ash resting on the bottom. We check the broken pieces of factory equipment, but here too find nothing unusual. Did you find anything? Nope. Or anyone? None either. I didn't find anything either. Good. Now we hide and wait till he comes. The dragoons hide their carriages somewhere outside the building and return on foot. One of them stays outside. Should he see Amadeus arriving with other Libertans, he'll signal us and we'll abort the operation. Another dragoon is stationed near a different exit at the back. We don't want anyone to enter the building without us knowing. The other dragoons scatter themselves and find hiding places around the assembly line. Wolf, Arena, and I do the same. We made sure that there is no one besides us here. We only leave the main entrance open for Amadeus to walk in. If he doesn't come alone, we're gonna know. Wolf, Aretha, 5 dragoons, and myself. Not even the leader of Libertad would be strong enough to defeat all of us all by himself. We're ready to ambush Amadeus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this the end of Franz? It's after sundown, and we wait. Someone is coming. There's Elise. It's Elise. She arrived before Amadeus, just as planned. She stops and looks out of the factory building. Her gaze, which reaches far beyond the entrance, is that of a strong woman, but a hint of anxiety is apparent in her pretty face. Is she scared? Not long after, someone else arrives. There he is. That's Franz, known as Amadeus now. It's Amadeus, the mighty leader of Libertad. I've heard witnesses describe how this person looks. I've heard from Elise that he wears a cloak. I've also heard that most of his face is covered by a hood. But he doesn't look anything like how I'd imagined him. He looks frail. Is he really the Libertad leader whom everyone fears? Is he really that strong? He doesn't look all that great. Heck, Fyodor Hendricks looked more like a fighter. But Amadeus could be hiding his power. I can't imagine how by looking at him. Elise. And she doesn't respond. How you doing, Minnie? What's up, dude? I knew you'd be looking for me. Are you ready to give me your answer? Elise stares at Amadeus quietly, yet her face projects her disquiet. Poor girl. Standing so close to the leader of Libertad must be a terrifying experience for her. No. No? No. Then why have you come here? Don't you want to join Libertad? Don't you want to liberate the people? Aren't you here because you believe in me? No. No? Elise. Run. What? Run. Leave this factory. Get him now, Wolf says. The Dragoon commander's sudden shout, her voice almost a shriek, signals her troop to come out of their hiding place and move with inhuman speed to Amadeus. I see. Is this your answer, Elise? A pity. The Dragoons are quickly closing in to surround Amadeus, but out of nowhere, amplify, summon intelligence, transform willpower, a rapidly rising tide appears and water comes flooding at the Dragoons in raging waves, its forcefulness intensified by a furious throbbing of the earth. A tsunami, so big and violent, sweeps through the unsuspecting Dragoons. Even when they're immersed in water, however, the Dragoons don't lose their calm. They expel raw mana from their body. which at first materializes as an inch-thick translucent layer that coats their skin, but then quickly expands into a spherical barrier, pushing the surrounding water away. Holy cow. The barrier makes it look as if each of them are trapped in an air bubble. One of the dragoons swims with superhuman speed towards the wall and presses his hand on it. Amplify, summon, and courage. The wall explodes, leaving a huge hole through which the flood rushes out. The dragoons are quickly back on their feet. But when did Amadeus cast the tsunami? I didn't see him do anything at all. I don't have to wonder long. It wasn't Amadeus who did it. A dusky-skinned man stands not far from the dragoons, a beastly magical aura radiating from his huge frame. I remember him. This is the foreign magician who Wolf defeated 5 years ago at the Maison Deeb of War. Wolf says, Ji-sung Alice Banner. Janice Wolf, we meet again. How'd you get inside the building? We don't have to wonder long about that either. Oh wow, we got a war going on, guys. A legion of libertans rush out of the furnaces. I thought they checked the furnaces. There are many dozens of them, and more are still coming. As soon as they come out, they move in teams of 5 or 6 and launch an assault on the dragoons. How can this be happening? We made sure the furnaces were empty. That's what I thought. Teleportation magic? Magic portal? Oh, that's impossible. We wouldn't need omnibuses if we had such convenient things. There are now close to 50 Libertans. The 5 dragoons are vastly outnumbered. Each one of them is up against 2 Libertad teams. 2 Libertad teams for each one of them. The Libertad employ an interesting tactic. 2 members in each team do nothing but wait until their opponent unleashes a magic attack, and then defend against that attack. So if the dragoon throws a fireball, one will douse it with water and the other will blow it away with wind. If the dragoon summons a gale of wind, they will erect 1 or 2 walls of rock to block it. These 2 defenders never possess the same magical traits. If one is gifted in courage and faith, the other is gifted in willpower and intelligence. That way they have a complete arsenal of elemental magic spells. The 3rd member does nothing but heal his friends, or if none of them are hurt, he energizes them. Wow. The rest of the team keep bombarding their enemy with magic attacks, never worrying about blocking or avoiding their opponent's attacks. It's a wonder how the dragoons aren't instantly beaten, given the situation. I guess it's a testament to the dragoons' combat skills. But they aren't winning either. Meanwhile, in what seems like a rematch of the duel 5 years ago, Wolf is fighting the burly Easterner she calls Ji-sung. Both of them are crazy strong. I look back at Amadeus, who is still standing in front of Elise. Elise. I've got to save Elise. I break into a dash, but a team of Libertans intercepts and attacks me. Summon intelligence. I dodge their magic and I keep running. Elise says, Amadeus. Elise, I'm disappointed. We could have accomplished so much together, but now it has come to this. Disappointed? You planned this? I did, but I was hoping we wouldn't have to execute the plan. We'll capture you, Amadeus. With a frustrated grunt, Elise straightens her right arm at Amadeus. Her courage burns. Summon! There goes her spell. An inferno erupts from her hand. I've heard that Elise used to handle a furnace when she was still working in a factory, so I shouldn't be surprised, but her fire is really strong, though apparently not strong enough. Summon Faith. Before it can reach Amadeus, the fire is blown away by a blast of wind. And a woman here. Amadeus, are you alright? From where the wind was blown, a woman is standing, ready to fight. I don't think I've seen her before. No, maybe I have, but I can't remember where and when. The woman turns to Elise and exclaims, I won't let you. But then she abruptly stops. They're going to recognize each other because they used to work together. Elise is like, what? Elise seems to be just as surprised when she looks at the woman. The two women stare at each other with wide eyes. No sounds escape their mouths. What? Why? Elise. Both women are in a fighting stance, both ready to cast a spell, but neither makes a move. They've been rendered speechless and motionless, as though petrified and bound by magic. Finally, someone attacks. Summon willpower. Dozens of small rocks rain onto the Libertad woman, but she quickly jumps away. Elise, I'll help you, Aretha says. Aretha! We'll get him. Hey, where's Amadeus? Huh? Taking advantage of the chaos, Amadeus has just disappeared. Shit, I can't let Amadeus escape. I'm slowly working my way to Elise, but I'm slowed down by all these Libertad bastards. Aretha, I'll go catch Amadeus. What? Elise, wait! Aretha gets ready to follow Elise, but then... Amplify, summon, faith. The Libertad woman attacks her. Aretha says, damn! Amadeus is still running. Elise is chasing him. Stop! You can't run anywhere! Amadeus doesn't stop. He just keeps running. His destination is a furnace. He enters the furnace through an opening at the bottom. If the factory were still operational, this would be the same opening through which a worker would send his fire. What is Amadeus stupid? He'll be trapped inside. Elise follows him into the furnace. Shit, I've got to save Elise before Amadeus does something to her. Oh boy. It seems I'm not the only one who is panicking after seeing Amadeus and Elise enter the furnace. After unleashing another powerful attack on Wolf, Jisung quickly runs after Amadeus. Wolf tries to chase him, but she is quickly surrounded by about 20 Libertans. The commander might be super strong, but that many Libertans prove quite problematic even for her. On the other hand, because so many Libertans have turned their attention to Wolf, I'm suddenly free to pursue my target. Summon courage. I cast fire to distract a few Libertans who are still fighting me, and rush after Amadeus and Elise. Jisung reaches the furnace before I do. Oh boy, what a bunch of chaos. As soon as I enter the furnace, I finally understand how the trap was set. Amadeus, Elise, and Jisung have completely vanished. No, there is no magic portal here. But the ash on the floor has been scattered all over, revealing an open trap door and a ladder. No time to think it over, I quickly descend the ladder to a dark and muddy underground tunnel, and I chase Elise, who is in turn chasing Amadeus. Between me and Elise is Jisung, who is also in pursuit, sprinting with a speed unnatural for his size. I can't let that bastard catch Elise. The tunnel gets brighter. Amadeus and Elise have almost reached the end of it. We exit the tunnel and suddenly we're in an alleyway. Amadeus! Elise, do forgive me, but I've never had much experience of being chased around by girls. I hope I haven't disappointed you. Give yourself up, Amadeus. Stop terrorizing people. Elise, must we go through this again? Jisung comes in. Amadeus, are you okay? Yes, I am. Elise, get away from them! I position myself in front of Elise, trying to shield her from the two Libertad bosses. Elise is like, Frederick! Oh, Frederick Godwin, Amadeus says. Amadeus pronounces my name slowly, articulating each syllable carefully, as if he were savoring it. How does he know me? The eye that isn't covered by the hood stares at me, menacingly. Why are you here, my lord? Since when do you concern yourself with anything outside your little aristocrat world? My lord? I'm here to take you and your little terrorist buddies down, asshole. Come on, fight me like a man, one-on-one. Fight like a man? Ha 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 ha. Fight like a man? Ha ha. What's so funny? Aw, do forgive me. There are no men here except Jisung. I only see a woman and a coward. Oh, damn. Shots are fired there. That's true. He was a coward. He was the one that cut off his freaking hands and put him on all the misery we read about last night. Very funny, asshole. You're gonna pay for that. Jisung comes in. Unfortunately, Godwin, you can't fight Amadeus without beating me first. Huh, not a problem. Works for me. Elise is like, Jisung. Lady Elise, look at you. You're a real lady now. Am I? Stay away, young lady. If you're not going to fight as one of a Libertad, you shouldn't involve yourself in this war at all. Why? Because I'm a lady? Because I don't want to hurt you. Is that a threat? That's a warning. Warning noted. I'll be careful, Jisung. So, you still fight after all? Yes. They both pause. Amadeus pauses. We've all gone silent. The calm before the storm. Amadeus must have had a lot of confidence in his lieutenant's fighting prowess. He's positioned himself some distance behind the foreign mage. I've battled many magicians, big and small. Sometimes I face men whose bodies are huge, yet they really aren't all that strong. They may be muscular, but their muscles are for beauty rather than strength. But Jisung isn't one of those guys. He's a solid. His body won't move an inch unless he himself wills it to. I've been preparing to fight the Libertad leader, but now I'm facing Jisung. I'm beginning to have doubts. Can I beat this man who almost defeated the Dragoon commander 5 years ago? Can I beat this man who almost single-handedly drowned 5 Dragoons in a tsunami? I'm not sure I could beat a Dragoon at this point. A cold rush passes through me as I remember Jisung and Wolf's battle 5 years ago. I blink away those memories. They won't help me here. There's no way I can win. This monster is going to destroy me. Should I just run? No. I can't run. Not when Elise is here. It is like, I hope Jisung beats the hell out of Frederick. Yeah, no, right? I promised Elise that I'd protect her, and I have to do that no matter what. I will protect her with my life if I have to. And so, I leap forward. Summon! Summon willpower. I try to slay the monster with earth magic, but he jumps back and easily avoids the heavy downpour of rocks. As a muscular man gets ready to cast his own spell, I steady myself to prepare my defense. But then I cast a courageous aura, I feel a courageous aura coming from behind me. Elisa's magic power is even greater than when she fired at Amadeus inside the plant. Amadeus says, Jisung, be careful. Elisa's fire is very strong. The warning from his leader prompts Jisung to abort his attack and assume a defensive stance. Summon! Wow, the war is on, guys. Elise sends scorching flames of fire raging toward the beastly Libertan. But the fire melts only a magical barrier. Jisung's body is untouched. With the fire gone, Jisung shifts his attention back to me. He moves with lightning speed, and before I know it, he's already right in front of me. Shit. It's too late to move away from the beast. I don't even know what spell he's going to cast. The only thing I can do is generate a barrier around my body. Jisung casts his spell. Summon intelligence plus nullify courage. My body, along with a barrier, it's encased in a freezing block of ice. If my barrier had come just a second late, all the blood in my body would be frozen solid right now. Oh shit. I fall to the floor, shivering and quivering in the deadly cold temperature. Jisung leaves me and immediately charges to Elise. Elise! Seeing the beast approaching fast, Elise musters her courage. No, Elise! I want to rise to my feet and save Elise, but my body won't obey. Arg! Exerting all my strength, I lift a hand and aim it at Jisung, who is now nearing Elise. I cast the only spell I can easily use from this distance. How you doing, Juan Martin? A fireball shoots out of my hand and flies towards my opponent. Sensing the incoming fireball, Jisung turns around and prepares to defend. And then Amadeus shouts to him, Jisung, ignore it. What? Without questioning his leader's instruction, Jisung turns his attention back to Elise. Elise is like, huh? He continues charging towards her, but my fireball is faster. Wow. Ugh! The fireball hits the man's monster's back and engulfs him in flames. And then the fireball disappears. Jisung doesn't stop. A mere second later, he gets close enough to Elise to unleash his own attack. Summon willpower. Arg! Screams from the rocks that mercilessly crash into Elise's delicate body were terrible. Unable to endure the attack, she simply collapses to the ground. Oh wow. Elise! My body is still tormented by the freezing cold, but I get up. I get up and run to Elise. Every step hurts, but I run anyway. Jisung has stopped. He just stands there quietly. Even when I run past him, he doesn't move to stop me. Oh damn. She's all effed up. Elise! Ugh. Elise, are you okay? No, she doesn't look okay at all. The rock's sharp edges have cut her up pretty good. She's bleeding badly, and she can't move her limbs. They're probably broken. Oh, damn. This has gotten drastic. Wow. No, Elise. This can't be happening. I promised her. Wasn't I supposed to protect her? How could I have let this happen to Elise? Fuck this shit. Fuck me. I'm sorry, Elise. I'm sorry. She looks up at me, her breathing is hard and heavy. With some difficulty, she opens her lips. Her teeth are stained with blood, and a soft voice speaks to me. Why are you crying, Frederick? Crying? I touch my right cheek. It's wet. I move my hand up to my right eye. It's even wetter. I am crying. It's fucking true. Elise. What should I do? Elise is dying, and there's not a thing I can do. Frederick. No, there is something I can do. I wipe my tears away with my hands. I can't cry. There's no time for something so freaking selfish. I've got to protect Elise. I take her hands and hold on to them, and I close my eyes. There is something I can do, something I haven't done in a long time. But I will do it. I'll do it for her. I don't remember when the last time I used this magic. 13, 14 years ago? It's feminine magic. It's a lame magical trait. My friends always laughed at me when I told them what traits I was gifted in. I became a joke. Someone gifted in compassion dreamed of being a strong fighter when he grew up. I should just be a nurse, they said. Oh damn. And I agree with them. I am ashamed of having this magical trait. Compassion? What the fuck is that? The only magical traits that befits a man like me are courage and willpower. But neither courage nor willpower can save Elise's life. Only compassion will, and it's within my power. Transform, amplify. Wow, she's healed. Look at that. You both pause. Elise, how are you feeling? Elise looks down at her own body. Her eyes glance about, looking at the spots where her wounds had been. I'm completely healed. She lifts her head again and eyes me questioningly. Frederick, how did you... It's revive. You know it's a spell one uses when... No, I mean, how were you able to cast that? I've always been able to cast compassion magic spells. I'm gifted in compassion. I never knew that. That's because I've been hiding it. I've been pretending that I was gifted in courage instead of compassion. Why? Because it's freaking embarrassing. This trait doesn't suit me at all. Oh, so that's what you meant. What I meant? When we first met, you said compassion suits me because I'm a girl. I might have said something like that. She pauses. So, was it embarrassing? Healing me, I mean? No, I'm glad that you're healed. I didn't care. I only wanted to save you. You're more important than my pride. I try to look away. I can't meet Elise's eyes. Thank you, Frederick. And now I can't look away. There it is on her face. The warmest, the kindest, and the most beautiful smile I have ever seen. I've seen Elise smile many times, most of them not for me, but none have ever been this beautiful. It's a smile of genuine happiness. Well, that's what he said he always wanted, huh? Seeing her smile so happy makes me happy too. This is the smile I wished to see 5 years ago, and have wished to see ever since. In the end, it is the trait that I so strongly reject that gave me the happiness I so desired. How ironic. But it doesn't matter because I finally get to see her smile. I'm 5 years late, but I finally was able to make Elise happy, if only for a little bit. And I keep staring at her face, for I don't know how long. She's beautiful, utterly beautiful. Now we're going to see Elise's point of view. It's surprising to know that Frederick is actually gifted in compassion. Without that, Jisung's attack would have killed me. Frederick's opinion about compassion being lame, is a lame trait is absolutely silly. But that's just his way, I guess. It doesn't mean he's a bad person. Maybe I've been misunderstanding him all this time. Maybe we can be good friends after all. He does seem to deeply care about me too. Amadeus says, compassion. I've always wondered what the coward's real magical trait was. Jisung comes in. Is this why you told me not to defend against his fireball? Yes, wasn't very courageous, that fireball, was it? Frederick's like, so, shall we resume our fight, or have you had enough? You see, I'd be willing to let bygones be bygones if you were to join us. So you see, I'd be willing to let bygones be bygones if you were to just join us. Join you? Don't make me laugh. Don't worry, I meant Elise, not you, my lord. We don't want your kind in Libertad. Wow. Shh. I'm not joining Libertad either, Amadeus. So you've told me, that's unfortunate. But, well, life must go on. Finish them, Jisung. Oh, damn. Roger. Oh, boy. Elise, please leave this to me. You should just stay back. Huh? This was my first time using healing magic in more than 10 years. It might not be very effective. Please. I'm feeling fine, but Frederick might be right. But how can I let him fight Jisung alone? Okay, we're still Elise. I'm feeling fine, but Frederick might be right. But how can I let him fight Jisung alone? I'll heal you while you fight. No, you must conserve your mana. We'll still need to deal with Amadeus after you're done, or after we're done with Jisung. But Amadeus can't... Just leave this to me, alright? Frederick looks determined. He doesn't know any hesitation. Or he doesn't show any hesitation. His eyes are burning with courage. Okay. Jisung and Frederick face each other about 30 feet apart. They're trying not to leak too much magical aura, but there's no doubt that both of them are already prepared to cast their spells. Frederick says. For a while, they only stand silently, studying each other's movement, despite the fact that neither one of them moves. Jisung is the first to attack. Summon Intelligence. Water shoots out of Jisung's hand, but unlike the usual torrents and jets of water that come gushing out of a magician's hand when this spell is cast, this time the water is condensed into a ball flying fast towards the target. Fortunately, Frederick manages to react in time. Summon! Cast a wall. He shields himself with a rock wall. His wall crumbles after taking the force of Jisung's water ball, but Frederick seems to have expected it because he immediately lunges forward through his crushed rock wall. Humph. After covering half the distance between himself and Jisung, Frederick casts his spell. Summon Willpower. But Jisung gracefully leaps backward to avoid the attack. Frederick presses on and unleashes his attack again. Same attack. But this time, Jisung doesn't dodge backwards. Instead, he moves forward. His power increases by an order of magnitude. I won't let you, dipshit. Frederick answers by focusing his own magical power. They're both ready to cast a spell. Jisung casts first. Summon Intelligence plus Nullify. It's the same ice magic that earlier had almost incapacitated Frederick in freezing coldness, but this time the magic leaves Jisung's hand in the form of a dozen ice shards. Frederick tries to move away, but he's too late. The ice shards are moving too fast. The shards penetrate his flesh, and soon after, the ice spreads and coats his skin. Oh damn. But Frederick refuses to go down. He grits his teeth and casts his own spell. Summon Courage. His own body bursts into flames, swirling, engulfing fire, melting the ice, turning it into water for a second before it evaporates into the night air. Jisung takes a few quick steps back to avoid getting incinerated in Frederick's swirling fire. And they're back to observing each other's stance. Jisung's aura is still as faint as before, but this time a strong magical aura is emanating from Frederick's body. A powerful and heavy magical aura. And extremely courageous. Amadeus says, looks like our Lord has finally found his courage. Yes, his fire is much stronger now. I think it could kill me. Scared? Of course. Fear of death is why I never let myself be killed in combat. Give up, Godwin. Although you've managed to save yourself by melting my ice, some parts of your body are frozen, aren't they? Sharp eyes you have there. Transform Compassion. But they're not frozen anymore, so he healed himself. I see you finally made peace with the compassion magic. I wouldn't say that. You're just not the only one who could never let himself be killed in combat. Oh, that's interesting. For your sake, I hope neither of us has to be a liar after this fight. Heh. Jisung and Frederick quiet down. They're ready to fight again. Frederick attacks. Courage. His fire really has become much stronger. Flames blaze forth from his hand towards his enemy. Jisung just narrowly avoids being cremated in the conflagration, but counters with a high-level magic only a moment later. Another Amplify Summon Ice Shard spell. Frederick dodges the Ice Storm while casting his next spell. Oh my gosh. Summon Amplify. Before this battle, Frederick's Thunderstorm would have been weak because, while he's naturally gifted in willpower, his courage would have been lacking. But not now. His newfound courage has made his Thunderstorm fierce. The two men continue to fight. Shards and water and meteors and they fight. And fight. Frederick's like panting. Jisung, you really have improved, haven't you? You look tired. Are you perhaps running out of mana? I'm not going to lie. You might be right. I don't think I have much left in me. But this isn't over yet, Jisung. This next spell is going to crush you. Oh shit. And Frederick concentrates his mana in his two hands. Arrgh! He brings both hands in front of his face and stares at his open palms. His right hand, strengthened with willpower, glows with yellow light. Summon! His left hand, burning with courage, glows with red light. Summon! And then he closes his right hand to a fist. Amplify! And does the same with the left. Amplify! Oh my god! The sky opens. Oh shit. Oh, here's that spell again. We saw this when Janice Wolf cast this on him in the arena, if we remember. What is that? Remember, we're taking the point of view of Elise, who's seeing this for her first time. A big flaming rock about 20 feet in diameter is slowly making its way through a crack in the black sky. What in the hell kind of magic is this? Amadeus says, Meteor. Meteor? I've only heard stories about this magic spell. It's said to be one of the most destructive spells there is. This isn't good, Jisung. Well, I've seen a bigger meteor than that, but no, this is not good. We should run. Too late. Oh shit. The meteor falls down fast, very fast, onto Jisung and Amadeus. There's no way to dodge a flaming rock. I don't think a barrier would even protect them. Arrgh! With a courageous roar, Jisung holds out his open hand to the meteor, as though welcoming it. And the giant rock convulses, its flames dancing with brutality. And then, when Jisung roars again, the meteor explodes in midair. Oh shit. What a magic war, huh? It is blown into pieces, its teeny fragments flying everywhere in all directions. Amadeus uses his cloak to cover his body. Jisung can't do anything to protect himself, so he is pushed away by the force of the explosion, his skin grazed by meteor fragments. Oh damn, but the giant doesn't fall down, even after taking the full force of the explosion, even after being hit by so close by the meteor fragments. The Jivaparian mage is still standing. He's a tough hombre. Battered and bruised, weakened and fatigued, he's still standing. Frederick says, No. No way. Arg. Instead, Frederick is the one who falls to the ground. His energy has drained completely after casting such a powerful spell. Frederick! Amadeus says, It looks like we have a winner. Frederick is lying on his back, painfully gasping for breath. He doesn't have enough strength to move his limbs. Elise is like pausing. No, you haven't defeated me. I step forward and prepare myself for combat. Jisung is tired. If I can burn him with my fire, I may be able to win. Frederick says, Elise, run away. Frederick's voice is dry and pleading. No, I'm not going to leave you alone here. Elise. Amadeus says, Jisung, you think you can handle her? I don't have much mana left, but I'm sure I can. I'll leave you to this then. For liberty, Jisung. For liberty, Amadeus. Farewell, Elise. Wow. Amadeus turns and walks away, leaving me and Jisung, who are facing each other, and Frederick, who is panting on the ground. And then she says, Wait, Franz. Amadeus halts his steps. For a moment he just stands with his back turned to me. Finally he turns around and walks back. Cat's out of the bag? I never closed the bag in the first place. What? Franz? How? Frederick says. Yes, Frederick. I am the man formerly known as Franz Byron. I'm the man you took everything from. Ugh, Franz? Franz, what happened to you? Why did you become the leader of Libertad? Didn't you fight against Libertad 5 years ago? It's a long story, Elise. I fought Libertad back then because I was ignorant, because I didn't know what I know now, because I hadn't experienced life among the proletariat. You're wrong, Franz. You're confused because you lost your hands. Take off that cloak. Go back to being Franz Byron. No, that I can't do. Why? Why must you become Amadeus? How long are you going to be Amadeus? As long as I have to. As long as one social class is manipulated and oppressed by another. That isn't going to change. Oh, but it will. Soon it will. You can't change that with just your gang of criminals. I can't. Not with just Libertad, yes. Which is why the revolution will involve many more proletarians. What? What are you planning? Amadeus. Take care of them, Jisung. Oh, wow. Will do. And Elise is like... She's like startled, I think. She's like, overwhelmed. Please forgive me, Lady Elise. But now that it has come to this, Jisung and I are both ready to fight. My chance of beating Jisung by myself is slim at best. But I must fight. This is my only shot, while he is tired and almost running out of mana after fighting Frederick. No, Elise, Frederick says. Frederick totters to his feet, his body shaking. I can't believe he can still manage to stand. Frederick, what are you doing? Stand back, Elise. I'll take care of this. But you don't have any mana left. No, I do. A little. I still can't cast my ultimate magic spell. Your ultimate magic spell? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Frederick doesn't seem to be in any condition to fight, but he looks determined to keep trying. He is ready to bet everything on this next spell. There is no sliver of doubt in his gaze, even though his body is ready to collapse. Frederick. I stand behind Frederick as he once again gathers his mana. Willpower. Very strong willpower. I'm surprised he can still produce this much energy. Maybe he really does have an ultimate magic spell that can defeat Jisung. Amazing. Such powerful magical aura, Jisung says. Alerted by Frederick's rising power, Jisung also prepares another attack of his own. The two magicians are very close to unleashing their own magic. Whose will be stronger? Elise. Jisung's like, ha! Oh shit. He's got his water ball coming at him. Jisung attacks first. A ball of water shoots out of his hand and flies towards Frederick. It may only be water, but with the volume, the density, and the speed at which it's moving, getting struck by that ball of water could be fatal. Thank you. So Frederick said, Elise, thank you. At last, Frederick too casts his spell. For everything. Wow. So he casts a spell to protect Elise and kill himself, is what it looks like. I can't see what happens next. A huge stone wall is suddenly erected from the ground behind Frederick, separating me from him and the two libertans. Crunch! What happened? There are no sounds from the other side of the wall. Frederick? Frederick? There's no answer. Frederick? Still no answer. I bang on the stone wall. Frederick! There's still no answer. Frederick? And Jisung says, his ultimate magic spell turned out to be this stone wall. Look at this thing. It must be 2 feet thick. Amadeus, what should I do with this wall? Lady Elise is on the other side. Should I break it? No, don't waste your mana. As you wish. We're leaving, Jisung. Tell the others to leave too. Affirmative. The sound of Amadeus and Jisung's footsteps fades away fast. And after the footsteps are gone, the night falls silent. My magic isn't strong enough to break this massive wall. Not knowing what else to do, I return to the factory through the underground tunnel. The factory is a mess. It's been ravaged by the battle between the Dragoons and the Libertans. The Dragoons are wounded, though they're still fighting. Even Commander Wolf is having difficulty in staving off the Libertans. Aretha is still fighting Judy. Both of them look exhausted. But then the Libertans begin to fall back and just leave the factory. Judy also starts making her escape after dodging Aretha's magic. Alice. She stops when she catches a glimpse of me, and we stare at each other for a long second before she dashes off. And Aretha says, Wait! I'm not letting you get away. Wolf says, Stop. Let her go. There are too many of them. We can't win this battle tonight. Besides, I don't see Amadeus anymore. Where'd he go? He's gone. Then we failed. Let's fall back and regroup. Where's the young lord? And Elise doesn't respond. Girl, where's Lord Frederick? No response. Alice? No response. Let's get out of here. AJ says, I'm so glad Frederick finally got his. That's what it looks like. Sunday, the 12th of Duo December, same year. Some mornings I wake up with enough energy to rock the day, and other times I dread their arrival. Today is neither, I guess. Now we're still in the point of view of Elise, I do believe. It's been a few hours since I got back from the factory, but I haven't slept a wink. Oh, I'm tired, alright. I'm exhausted. My muscles are sore, and my body feels heavy. But whenever I close my eyes, the memories from last night replay vividly, like scenes out of a picture book. Jisung's magic, his unhumanly powerful magic, could be recast over and over in my mind. It would strike me again and again, the memory of the pain clear and present, enough to make me jump and break into a sweat. Remember, it was Jisung's magic that cast meteors that cut her up and almost killed her, before Frederick basically healed her with compassion magic. And again, Frederick would revive me with tears streaming down his face, as if the pain were his own. The only thing that would remain unchanging throughout the whole scene is Amadeus's calm, vengeful gaze. I wish it would have stopped right there. But there's still more that I remember. Frederick's perseverance as he battled Jisung, the meteor, the exhaustion on his face after casting that spell, and seeing Jisung still standing, and that final moment. Last night I didn't see Frederick's face when he erected the stone wall, but whenever I close my eyes now, I can imagine it clearly. A bittersweet smile, a resignation to whatever came next, a satisfaction that he was able to protect me, regret in knowing how it had to end, but peace in knowing that it was the best that he could do. But if it was for the best, Frederick, then why am I sad? After I went back to the factory and the Libertans had all fled, one of the dragoons reported that Frederick's body was found lying near a solid stone wall in the alley. It was too much, too late for revive. He wasn't moving, there was no breathing, and his heart wasn't beating. I always thought that Jisung was a good person. He did save me when I was lost. But why did he kill Frederick? How could he? I suppose he didn't have a choice. It was a fight to the death. Frederick would have killed him if he had turned his back. But was that the only way? Was there nothing else I could have done? No, this happened because of Amadeus. He was the mastermind. He orchestrated this war. Amadeus is responsible for everything. And Amadeus is Franz. Franz is responsible for everything. Franz killed Frederick. Frederick wronged Franz, I know. But was it death, a fair punishment? Franz, did you have to kill Frederick for chopping off your arms? Is this the kind of justice you hope to bring to Overture? My mind is just a jumbled mess. I can't even think. Even trying to makes my head hurt. I feel sad and I just want to cry. But I can't even do that. I just feel numb. From time to time, I hear Alanis calling her patients, but other than that, the morning is quiet. I don't hear Aretha's cheerful cries that brighten her Sundays. Today she's gone, preparing something for her presentation at the conservatoire. How long have I been sitting in my bed? I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to sleep, but I don't want to get up or go outside either. All kinds of thoughts fill my head, but none of them are coherent. What am I doing? What have I done? And what will I do? What would I do if I met Franz and Jisung again? What should I say to Lord Godwin? Frederick, where are you now? Are you in heaven? Are you in hell? Do these places even exist? Did I make the right choice by not joining Libertad? Would any of these things have happened if I had just joined them? Didn't I believe in Franz when he asked me to fix the piano? Why don't I trust him now? Franz is supposed to be really smart. Shouldn't he know what's best for everyone? Isn't he fighting for the proletariat? Why am I not one too? Shouldn't I be fighting alongside him to give the proles what we all deserve? Even Judy is in Libertad now. Judy, God, how I miss her. Why, after so many years, did we have to meet like this? Judy was always ready to do anything for me. Shouldn't I do something for her now? Am I evil? Am I an evil bourgeois? The more I think of answers, the more questions come flooding into my head. It's just never ending. I give up and I close my eyes. Fragments of memories are being replayed in my mind, one after another in no logical order, and as I go through them, they make less and less sense. As I relive them, they become more and more distorted. Elise? Why did you kill me? I hear Frederick's toneless voice. Elise. Elise. It's Alanis. Elise, are you okay? It's almost time you went to the cafe. The cafe? Should I send someone to let Miss Howard know that you can't go in today? No, Alanis, thanks. I'll be fine. I'll go now. Don't push yourself, Elise. I'm fine. Miss Howard greets me as soon as I enter the cafe. Good morning, Elise. Good evening, Miss Howard. I'm sorry I couldn't come to work yesterday. That's okay, dear. You just let me know ahead of time yesterday. I appreciate that. Oh, look, we have a guest. Miss Howard leaves me to tend to an aristocrat who just came in. I plod over to the piano. I pick a random piece from my repertoire and begin playing. Miss Howard's cafe is soon filled with the sound of music. Some patrons turn their heads in my direction as I begin my performance. It's a normal occurrence, but today I'm more conscious of it. The way they observe my finger movement, is that admiration or disdain in their eyes? Jason, thanks so much for subscribing, man, if you're here in the stream. Before I can discern the meaning behind their gazes, they look away, back to their dinners. Why should I worry anyway? I've been playing the piano here almost every night. I'm doing what I always do. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about anything. I've done enough thinking for today, and it hasn't helped me a damn bit. I close my eyes to escape the worry, letting the music whisk me away and carry me to her world. Yet today that world is empty. There is only nothingness. Everything is black. I walk alone, naked and vulnerable, clad only in darkness. My bare feet sting as if they step on the void. And then I hear voices. The lively chatter of people who are having their meal has transported me back to Miss Howard's cafe. Or perhaps I just never left. I keep playing the piano, but I find my eyes are sweeping through the cafe, wandering from one guest to the next. My fingers move automatically along the piano keys, as if I were a machine. Today is not a salon day, so the establishment is just like any normal restaurant. However, because the people who frequent Howard's are also the people who are fond of the salon, impromptu discussions often take place. Two gentlemen seated not far from the piano were having such a discussion. Man one says, "Did you hear about the Dragoon operation last night?" "Yes, I have. Such a pity that it failed." "Pity, yes. If only they had been able to capture Amadeus, Overture would be much safer." "Amadeus, yes. There was a bigger tragedy, though." "The young lord's death?" "A terrible tragedy. He was only 22, wasn't he? There was still so much the young lord could have accomplished." "He was young, but he was a very talented magician. Many people said he was arrogant, but you know arrogance is one of a lord's privileges if you ask me." "Haha, talented he was. I remember watching his sorcerer match on Lord Godwin's birthday some years ago." "Ah, when he faced Commander Wolf? Yes, that was a great match." "Yes, it was more exciting than your typical professional sorcerer matches." "Indeed it was." "I miss the young lord already, and I didn't even personally know him. How do you think Lord Godwin is feeling right now?" Well, what do you think? His only son is dead. He must be devastated. I'm surprised he chose not to cancel Magical Mechanical's presentation at Conservatoire d'Ouverture, though. Amazing that he still wants to deliver the presentation himself, even though his son just died. Really? You're talking about the presentation the day after tomorrow, right? I received an invitation for it. Did you? I'm jealous. The two men continued chatting through their meal, first talking about what Magical Mechanical is likely to announce at the Conservatoire, and then moving on to other topics. After the last guest has left, I get ready to leave the cafe. I meet Miss Howard near the door. Thank you for the beautiful performance, Elise. I'm always happy to play the piano, Miss Howard. Miss Howard keeps a relaxed smile on her face most of the time, but now the smile fades and her smiling face changes into one of uneasiness. Elise, has something happened to you? Huh? No, nothing. Why do you ask? Well, I had that feeling while I was listening to you play. Did I make a mistake in my recital? No, not at all. It just sounded heavy. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have been distracted. I have a lot on my mind at the moment. Without breaking eye contact with me, the aristocratic woman heaves a short, barely audible sigh of relief. Her usual smile reappears on her face. Is that so? Well, it's fine then. But tell me if you have any problems, will you hear? Yes, ma'am. Good night, Elise. Good night, Miss Howard. Welcome home, Elise. Aretha, why are you still up? More work? Nope. What are you doing? Waiting for you. What? Why? You've been sulking ever since we came back from the factory, so I've made it my mission today to make you laugh. Ha 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 ha. There's good old Aretha. Smiling, happy Aretha. I'm sleepy, Aretha. Can I just go to sleep? No, not before you laugh. Huh. Elise, Elise, knock knock. Oh, who's there? Elise Shelley. Elise Shelley who? Elise Shelley, go somewhere. Huh. Not working, Elise, Elise, why does William hate going to a construction site? Because construction workers always use his power to summon rocks. Huh, not funny. Okay, I have more. Where do the compassion people live? Up on the hill. Huh. She's trying, but it's not working. What does a magical scientist say when he's in danger? Summon, please help me. No response, no laugh. Still no reaction? Were they that terrible? I swear I made Franz laugh with these jokes. Okay, let's try the next one. Elise, Elise, hehe. What gets hard and erect when you blow it? Oh my god. Oh, Elise. What gets hard and erect when you blow it? Elise doesn't respond. The wall that is summoned to block a wind magic spell. Ha 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 ha. Oh my god. Ha ha. You just forced yourself to laugh, didn't you? I'm sorry, Aretha. I'm just tired. Thanks for trying to cheer me up. What happened yesterday wasn't your fault. Try not to think about it, okay? Okay. Well, get some rest, Elise. Good night. Thank you, Aretha. Good night. I throw myself onto the bed as soon as I enter my room. I wonder what makes me so gloomy. Aretha was as shocked as I was when she learned that Amadeus is really Franz, but she is now back into high spirits. Or maybe she's just trying to be cheerful for my sake. But our situations are different. Nobody died to save her life. So I'm blaming Frederick for my sulkiness now? I don't know what to do. I'm tired. If I go to sleep, Will I know what to do tomorrow? Probably not. But I'm gonna sleep anyway. Monday, the 13th of December. Another morning, same as yesterday, feeling neither energetic nor drowsy. The good thing is that I don't know if it was due to the fatigue or the effect of hearing Aretha's terrible puns. I fell asleep pretty easily last night and slept until morning without being haunted by any memories. Well, I might have been, I don't know. I don't remember what I dreamed last night. I was just suddenly aware 1 second that I was awake, here I am. My mind is a blank, whereas yesterday all kinds of thoughts flooded my head. This morning it's the complete opposite. It's as though my brain just shut down. I rise and toddle to the door. Aretha and Alanis are standing near the front door and talking to each other. Are you going to the conservatory again today? Yeah, some final check to make sure that the demo unit still works properly, and then I'll be at Magical Mechanical after lunch. No meeting with the Lord Godwin? No, we'll meet with him, yes, but at Magic Mechanical, not at his house. He said paparazzi have been hanging around his house after his son's death. I see. Well, have a good day, Aretha. Okay, Mom. Please take care of Elise for... Aretha stops mid-sentence when she spots me. Elise, good morning. Oh, good morning, Elise. Good morning. You woke up early today. Did you have a good night's sleep? Yeah. Are you feeling sick? No. Elise, want some coffee? No. Are you sure? No. Which is it? No. Huh. Elise? No. Mom, Elise is broken. Well, I'll try to fix her. Why don't you go to work? Okay, bye, Mom. See you later, Elise. Later. Elise, why don't you try to sit down at the table? I'll fix you some breakfast. Breakfast? I scuffle over to our dining table and sit down. Here you go, Elise. Enjoy your breakfast. Oh, there's a plate of food in front of me. I pick up a square thingy from the plate, take a bite, and put it back down. Tastes like toast. It is toast, Elise. Oh. Huh. I look down at the plate. A poached egg and some slices of smoked chicken sausage sit alongside the slice of toasted bread. The toast has a bite missing. Alanis, the toast is missing a bite. Alanis brings a palm to her face and says, Aretha is right. You are broken. Huh? After breakfast, I sit idly at the table while watching Alanis get ready to open the clinic. Some patients are already waiting outside the examination room. Alanis calls the first patient. A 40-ish man enters the examination room. The door opens. A young woman comes out of the room, thanking her doctor. The next patient, an old woman, goes inside. What happened to the 40-ish man? More people come and leave. Elise, I need your help. Why are you already sitting here? Are you waiting for lunch? It's still an hour before noon. Lunch? But I just had breakfast. Breakfast was 4 hours ago. Come with me, Elise. One of my patients is having a cold. I need you to cure him. I get up and follow Alanis to her examination room. Inside the room, a middle-aged man is standing on a chair, his head lowered. He coughs a few times. Alanis says, Elise! Alanis' suddenly raised voice startles me. Yeah? Her strong gaze pierces my eyes. For a few seconds she doesn't say anything, but then in a soft but firm voice she asks, Are you alert enough to cast a spell? Yeah. You can't half-ass a compassion spell, Elise. I know. Good. Smiling, Alanis points to the seated man. He has a cold. Can you cure him? Sure. I move closer to the man and touch his shoulder. The man jolts in his seat, lets out a small shriek, and awkwardly resettles himself amidst another coughing fit. I let compassion fill my body before concentrating it in my hand. Sickness be gone. Nullify. The man's coughing stops. He raises his head meekly, puts a hand on his forehead, and stares at me glassy-eyed. Thank you. Alanis asks the man, How is your cold? I think I'm cured now. Good. Next time you're sick, make sure you go to a physician. Sorry. How are you feeling now? I'm fine, I think. Really? That's good to hear, but I think you wouldn't be here if you were really fine. But don't worry, we've been making some progress these past few weeks. How's work? Alana starts interviewing the patient. The interview is really just a normal conversation about what the patient does at home and at work, his relationship with people and things like that. But every so often Alanis jots something down in her notebook. During the whole conversation, Alanis smiles and speaks softly, almost like a mother talking to her child. The man, on the other hand, seems nervous. Not wanting to disturb the session, I begin walking to the door. But just as I make the first step, my eyes fall onto an object in the corner. A piano. It's the piano. It's the piano I bought after working at Howard's for a year. I'm almost surprised to see it. My bedroom was too small to have such a large instrument, so we decided to put it here. Excuse me. What is it, Elise? Do you mind if I play the piano? Alanis eyes the piano for a moment before asking her patient, Well, do you? No, it might actually be nice, I think. Looks like you have permission, Elise. Thank you. I sit at the piano. A deep breath and then another, and I begin playing. The piano bursts into song. Alanis and her patient watch me play. For a while, the man only stares blankly, and then slowly a smile curls at his lips. This music is very nice. Haha, I agree, but don't forget that you're paying me by the hour. Oh, wow. Right. They resume their conversation while listening to my piano. Alanis is chatting with a man just as she did before, but something is different with the way the man speaks. For one, he's now less nervous. While previously Alanis had to keep asking questions to get the man to speak, now the man's words flow with ease. He seems to have just opened up to Alanis. When he finally gets up from his seat to leave, the patient stops to speak to me. Thank you for playing the piano, young lady. I nod at him with a smile, and the man shyly smiles back and then leaves. The next patient comes in, and before the session begins, Alanis asks her if she minds me being in the room and playing the piano. The patient says she doesn't mind, so I continue playing. 2 hours later, after the last patient leaves, more patients may be coming later, but for now, Alanis can take a break. Feeling better? Huh? Oh, yeah, yes. Are you sure? Yeah. Heh, do you want to know something? What is it? My job is to talk with people and listen to their problems, right? Yeah. But they lie to me all the time. They do? Yes. Do you know what lie I hear the most every day? No. I'm fine. I'm fine must be one of the biggest lies humanity has ever known. You told that lie to me yesterday, too, if I do recall, didn't you? Like Miss Howard, Alanis smiles most all the time, but she seems to carry many types of smiles for many situations. The one she's wearing right now looks to be a mix of sarcasm and caring. The man you cured was like that too. He said he was fine after his cold was cured, but the truth was that he wasn't. He might have been cured of his physical illness, but not of his mental illness. Mental illness can't be cured by magic. In fact, it can't be cured by anything or anyone except by the patient himself. What I can do is give him a little push, or he could find that cure, or so that he could find that cure. Today, you helped give him that push that he needed. Huh? Your piano. Amazing, isn't it, how we can influence the human mind? Do you know what else is interesting? No? Alana smiles, changes. It now carries an air of perplexity. These mental disorders, the things I diagnose my patients with, why do we call them a disorder or an illness? Why do we automatically assume they're wrong and we're right? Why are they labeled strange and their absence normal? Why not the other way around? Why don't we let them be as they are? Because, you see, society has decided on a set of behaviors within which it can function normally. When a member of society doesn't behave within those norms, we consider that a problem. But what if these normalized behaviors turned out to be suboptimal? Like an individual, social groups can suffer from collective mental disorders, and that includes us, the Kingdom of Overture, and also the lands beyond. Like people saying, I'm fine, it's an answer, but it's not usually true. And just like my patients, when society is sick, no amount of magic will heal it. They have to work out the solution for themselves. But remember, Elise, we can always give it a little push to help it along. Maybe someday it will find a cure for itself. Find a cure for itself? Perhaps sensing my disquietude, Atlantis gives me a warm-hearted smile. You haven't eaten lunch, have you? Want me to cook you something? No need. I think I'll eat out today. Good. After being cooped up in your room all day yesterday, I imagine the outside air will be good for you. I leave the house and take the omnibus to the city. Unlike most other places which have gone noticeably uncrowded ever since the Libertad began assaulting random people on the streets, this city street is still as busy as ever. Pedestrians bustle about between rows of shops, restaurants, company offices, and various other business places. There is noise everywhere, but not unpleasant noise. It's the noise of city life, of people carrying on. This area is considered the main business district. If you open a map of Overture, you'll find the street almost exactly in the center of the map. Somewhere around here is Magical Mechanical's Research and Development Center, where Aretha goes to work. I stroll along the street, looking for someplace nice to have lunch. And after walking a few blocks, I find a smallish bistro that looks cozy enough and go inside. As I have my lunch, I'm reminded of the time when I was trudging through the same streets, tormented by hunger, looking unsuccessfully for an eating place which my proletariat wallet could afford. And now I'm eating in a bistro in the busiest part of Overture. And I guess Franz is right. I am no longer a prole. With my hunger gone, I leave the bistro, and not knowing what else to do as there's still some time before I have to leave for Howard's, I take a walk around the city center. Unfortunately, once you've lived in the city for a few years, there's really not much left to see. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I've only just started looking for an omnibus stop when I bump into someone I know. It's Janice Wolfe. Ah! Commander Wolfe, good afternoon. Oh, it's you, Therese? It's Elise. I was pretty close, though, I guess. Ha ha ha, sorry, girl, I never try to remember names that aren't important to me. Well, at least she's honest. She reminds me of Frederick. I heard he always forgot people's names, too. Commander Wolfe and Frederick were actually similar in many ways. Are you patrolling this area? Not really, just wandering around. Do you work somewhere nearby? No, I'm just taking a walk. Huh? Who'd take a walk in a boring place like this? You just said what you were doing. Ah, that's a good point, ha ha ha. You just said that's what you were doing. This is the first time I've seen the Commander Wolf so laid back. Until now, I've only seen her on duty. I guess I've always pictured Commander Wolf as a scary policewoman. It's funny. What is? Do you remember when we first met? You were with Jisung Alispana, so I thought you were a Libertad member. And then your fake brother came and convinced me that you weren't. Yes, I remember. And now he is the one who is in Libertad. The leader, no less. It's too ironic. Yes. Sorry for not telling you sooner. Ha ha ha. You had your suspicion, but you weren't sure of yourself, were you? You must have been hoping that you'd be mistaken. Yeah. Hey, are you bothered by what he told you that night? I mean, about how Joff, Godwin, and Magical Mechanical are evil? Was he telling the truth? Haha, what do you think? Lord Godwin didn't comment on that after hearing my story, so it's probably true. Did he not? I remember he said, "That's interesting." That wasn't exactly the denial I was looking for. Ha 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 ha. So Joff likes that. He couldn't care less what people think of him. So what Franz told me isn't true. Huh? Wolf smirks for a second, but then her face becomes serious. No, it is true. Everything he told you is true. I know because I was already a close friend of Joff's when he proposed that bill to Parliament. She's talking about the bill that Lord Godwin proposed to Parliament about lowering minimum wage in exchange for employees' obligation to provide mana potions to their workforce. Franz said that it's the reason why proles became so poor. Their wages dwindled while the mana potions they received were only enough to do their work. But whether or not Joff's proposal was evil is open to interpretation, I guess. What I can tell you is that the bill was proposed to solve the real problem. A real problem? Why do you think mana potions are so damn expensive? Because they are improved from overseas? Wrong, girlie. It's true that we bring to Mulawak the plant used to make mana potions from Devapantra in the east, but that's not why they're expensive. On the contrary, it's because we particularly steal them. They should be cheap. Do you understand that? Steal? Well, exactly how we secure Timolok is debatable, but there's a reason why the Deverparian, like Jisung, Alispana, is with Libertad. It's not because he's bored and looking for excitement, I can tell you that much. I thought you hated Jisung. I never imagined you would sympathize with him. Haha, well, the funny thing is that through battle, sometimes you come to understand your enemies. Remember when I told you that there are no good guys and bad guys on the battlefield? Yeah. And a weak smile appears on Wolf's lips, but it soon disappears. Anyway, mana potions actually used to be very cheap, not only because their native land was our colony, but also because our government was subsidizing mana potions to stimulate magic research. This was during the early days of magical science, back when magician wasn't yet synonymous with person. But as more people were capable of using magic, a problem arose. Suddenly, every fucker on the street was practically walking with a weapon in hand, and a deadly one at that. Obviously, we don't want to live in a society in which anyone can easily murder anyone else. Imagine a rogue magician suddenly going batshit insane in a school and casting fire on any students he sees. That wouldn't be cool. Now, there are several ways you can minimize the chance of that kind of shit happening. First of all, society self-regulates through social pressure. As you know, suddenly casting a magic spell or just the act of gathering all your magic power for no good reason is frowned upon. If you pulled that shit on the street, you'd get in trouble, because people don't like it. This has become one of the norms of everyday life, but that alone isn't enough. So back in those early days of magic, there were two things that our government did. First was to recruit powerful mages as part of the police force and task them with keeping the city safe. The second was regulating mana potions. Weapons should be expensive, therefore magic should be expensive. The government didn't want citizens to have more mana than was adequate to take care of living and go through their daily lives. So they removed government subsidies and mana potions and instead imposed heavy taxes on them. Mana potions became really expensive. People complained, but those regulations worked out pretty well. That is, until magic machines were invented and suddenly they had a problem. There was now a way to improve everyone's life with technology, but they were terribly expensive, not only because the machines themselves were expensive, but also because the mana needed to use them was expensive. Add in the fact that production of magic machines required a lot of mana, and you can see the breadth of the problem. It's little wonder that most of the early magic machine manufacturers didn't do well financially. Now, you might think that the government could have removed the taxes on mana potions, but they couldn't do that because it would reintroduce the problems the taxes were meant to solve. Of course, the government could have also lowered the taxes instead of completely removing them, which might have worked, but Joff had a better idea. He thought the problem could be solved if people didn't have to buy mana potions themselves. Instead, they'd get their potions from their employers. Meanwhile, the government would waive the taxes on mana potions for legal companies that purchase potions for their employees. That way, the government would still be able to control the distribution of mana potions by limiting how many potions a company could purchase tax-free, depending on the company's size and what kind of business it was. For example, a typical company could only buy 1 vial per employee per day, but a magic machine manufacturer could buy 3 or 4 vials per employee per day. Some special institutions like the police force and conservators could purchase as many as they wanted, as long as they kept detailed account for what they were being used for. With this arrangement, citizens would receive a sufficient amount of mana potions from their employers. Companies could buy untaxed mana potions, but mana potions would remain expensive for any other purposes in order to dissuade people from abusing the magic. It was a win for everyone, and that's why Joff proposed that bill. I'm not sure if I get it, but basically the bill's purpose was to give the government control over the distribution of mana potions, by shifting the burden of purchasing them from individuals to corporations, right? That's right. So, it isn't true that Lord Godwin proposed the bill to obtain an unfair advantage for his own company. Of course he did it to obtain an advantage. The fact that he also solved the other problem was a bonus. It was his end. What I'm saying is that the bill did solve a real problem. Whether it was motivated by altruism or selfishness is beside the point. As it turns out, the world is more complicated than that. Besides, more than 20 years ago when Joff made that proposal, he might not have even been aware of the problems it'd create for factory workers. I mean, it's easy to look back at the past and see what went wrong and assign blame to someone. But when you're in a difficult situation and there are many fucking things outside your control, shit isn't so easy. Take a sorcerer match, for example, especially when it's a team match instead of a one-on-one match. As spectators, people love to criticize the players whenever a mistake is made. What they fail to realize is that when they're a spectator, they have complete view of everything that's going on inside the hexagonal arena, in which players don't have that view. And in their mind, they don't see why their favorite player didn't dodge right instead of left. They don't see why fire was cast when wind would have been better. Inside the arena, a player can only control his own actions. He can only see what his own little eyes can see at any one given time. Running a business or running a country is also like that. Whether you're a member of parliament, a business owner, or just an ordinary employee, you're just one player among many. The difference in the real world is that there are no spectators. Everybody's a player, and nobody has a complete view of everything that's going on outside the arena. I see. I guess things aren't as simple as we would like them to be. But now that Lord Godwin knows about the difficulties that the pros are going through, couldn't he do something? Well, first of all, there's a matter of whether he wants to do anything. But for the sake of argument, let's say he does. So our question now is whether he can. The main problem is that people often forget this. Joff's not the owner of Magical Mechanical Ltd. Anymore. Not since Magical Mechanical went public. Joff's still the biggest shareholder, and by no means a majority. What that means is that he would propose ideas, but he'd have to convince the board of directors to agree with it before Magical Mechanical could execute it. But for the sake of argument, let's say Magical Mechanical's board of directors agree to help their factory workers. So our question now is how? Unfortunately, there's no easy solutions. If they increased the workers' wages or gave them more mana potions, production costs would skyrocket. And then we'd have to reduce the size of the workforce to bring down the cost to an acceptable level, either by making use of more magic machines in the manufacturing process, or something else to that effect. Either way, it'd result in hundreds of thousands of unemployed proles, which I imagine would suck for those guys. So there you have it, the consequences of the grand solution. Do you have a better idea? I know. The government should let Magical Mechanical purchase more potions tax-free so Magical Mechanical could give more potions to the workers. Not gonna happen. Magical Mechanical is huge. When you take the size of its workforce and the amount of mana needed to manufacture magic machines, Magical Mechanical's consumption of mana today already constitutes more than half of all of Overture's. Parliament would never agree to give them even more potions. I see. There's really no easy way to solve the problem. Ha ha ha. Well, that's just how it is. Life's a bitch. It never goes the way you want it to, and sometimes it seems like it's trying its best to just piss you off. Anyway, Wolf takes out a chronometer from her pocket, takes a glance at it, and puts it back. Looks like it's time for me to go. It was nice to talk to you. Elizabeth. Elise. Right, Elise. Goodbye, Elise. Goodbye, Commander Wolf. The policewoman smirks again before turning away and leaving. For a while, I just stand by myself on the street. Between what Alana said before I left home and what Commander Wolf just told me, my mind is filled with thoughts again. But they're not the kind of jumbled mess they were yesterday. I feel like I have gained a better understanding of what's going on with all this. This being me, Franz, Libertad. Well, this. There's still lots of things I don't understand, perhaps won't understand because I don't even know what I don't know. But everything makes more sense now. At least a little more sense than it did yesterday. Does it though? With Commander Wolf gone and no one else to chat with, I resume my aimless walk around the city until a red 10 appears in the sky to tell me that it's time to go to the cafe. Once at the cafe, I greet Miss Howard and sit at the piano. Outside, the sun has slipped below the skyline. The sky is quiet, twinkling tapestry of the moon and stars. People begin pouring into the cafe to have their dinner. Chatter fills the cafe while my eyes are fixed on the piano. What should I play today? I know. I'll play that piece. I close my eyes, place my hands gently on the piano keys, and inhale. I exhale, and the piano breathes out music. Suddenly, I'm aware that I'm in another world. It's warm like the day, but quiet like the night. There is tranquility, but there's also energy. I feel my body drifting on a surface as vast and soft as white sand on the beach. I look beside me, and there she is. The music is smiling brightly, almost shiny, glittering within the white world. I open my eyes while the music is still singing with her saintly voice. The cafe patrons are watching me. Some are staring as if petrified. Heads are turned, and forks are suspended above plates. Huh? There is peace on their faces. They're listening to my piano. They're listening to my music. They remind me of Alanis' patients who listen to my piano while undergoing their therapy. Perhaps, like those patients, these people also have come here to have their soul healed. I scan their faces and notice the little details that make them all unique. Yet in another way, they're also similar. They're not aristocrats, they're not bourgeois, they're not scientists, they're not engineers, and they're not magicians, they're not mages. They're just people. They're neither good nor bad. Like Commander Wolf has explained, it's not so easy to determine whether someone is good or whether someone's bad. Hearing Franz's story made me think that Lord Godwin was a bad person, but now that I've also heard Commander Wolf's explanation, I'm not so sure anymore. Is Lord Godwin good or evil, or neither? But Franz said that Lord Godwin is responsible for the Proles' suffering. He was so sure of it. Commander Wolf said there's no easy way to solve the problem with the Proles, but Franz claimed that Libertad's mission is to give the Proles the justice they deserve, and that they should, or that they could do it. Could Franz be wrong? Is Franz really the evil one? Huh. Wow. Is Franz really the evil one? Well, that music was amazing. Thank you so much for a splendid performance. Your piano is the reason why I love dining at this cafe. Thank you. Some guests approached me after they finished their meal to tell me how they loved listening to my piano. I'm glad I was able to make their dinner more enjoyable. And once all the guests have left, Miss Howard comes to me. That was an interesting performance. Symphony in C minor, Odera Separo Adolescente. Today was the first time I've heard it played on the piano. Well, technically, it wasn't a symphony here. Yes, I arranged it into a piano piece. That was the only first movement, though. You're just full of surprises. Why do you even have the full orchestra score when there's no piano part in it? You'd need a conductor's score to properly reduce it to piano arrangement, wouldn't you? The score, yes. It was given to me by a dear friend. I left the cafe after bidding Miss Howard goodbye. Dear friend as in Frederick. We remember that moment. Elise! At home, Aretha is already waiting for me again. What animals have the most courage? Apparently, she has prepared more jokes for me. Fireflies and firebugs are the animals with the most courage. Yep, that was easy, right? Now how about this? What animals have the strongest willpower? Ducks, because they go quake, quake, quake. That was really bad, Aretha. Let's stop with the puns already. You don't like them? I don't dislike them, but I think I've heard enough. Ha 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 ha. Elise? Yeah? You know, when Franz and I were students at the conservatoire, I always found it hard to disagree with him. He was just, well, intelligent. Very intelligent. Everything he said made sense. He could reason his way through anything, and he could prove his reasoning logically. It was like he was never wrong. You couldn't help but believe anything that came out of his mouth. But the truth is that he was never wrong. I remember back in our freshman year, Franz and I were arguing about combo magic. He insisted that any combo magic spells required 2 or more magicians to cast, which is why they were called combination magic. So I took out my Fundamental Magical Theories textbook from my bag, showed him the first page of the combo magic chapter, and made him read the very first sentence aloud. A magic spell is considered combination magic if it combines 2 or more magical traits regardless of the number of casters or the number of invocations required to cast a spell. Once he was done reading, I closed the book again and smacked his head with it. I smacked his head. Elise, Franz isn't always right. He's just good at thinking. Sometimes those are 2 separate things. Don't lose yourself over what he said, over what he's done. Franz isn't always right. Yes, maybe Aretha is right. I think Franz is in the wrong this time. I guess that makes him the bad guy. Or does it? Does every conflict need a bad guy? Is the antithesis of good always evil? Or could it simply be not good? Maybe Franz is not a bad person. Maybe there's no such thing as evil. Maybe evil is just a label we tack on to any deviations from the established norms. In other words, it's just a mental disorder. And like Alanis' patients, maybe Franz can also be cured. He deserves to be cured. Elise. Okay. Huh? I'll do what you did. The next time I see Franz, I'll smack him on the head. And then I'll burn him with fire in his face until his face is all black, and I'll smack him again for good measure. Ha 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 ha. Elise, this isn't like you. And I won't stop until he takes off that stupid cloak and apologizes for all the bad things he has done as Amadeus. Yeah, we've got to punish that idiot. Spank him. Let's spank him until his butt cheeks are red. Ha 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 ha. Oh my gosh. Yeah, or we'll cane him. Whip him, hang him with ropes and whip him. Make him stand on the street while carrying a sign. Drip hot wax from candles onto his skin while he's seated on a wooden pony. Yeah, and then what? Why hot wax? Why a wooden pony? And then we'll whip him some more. Wait, what's with the candles again? And finally, we'll crush them. We'll crush them both. What? What is she going to crush? What is she going to crush? Yeah, we're going to crush his spirit and his mind. Ha 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 ha. Oh, ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. It takes some time for me and Aretha to stop laughing. Later, I head to bed, feeling better than I have in days. Fire Day, 14th of December. The next day. I wake up feeling refreshed. The gentle touch of sunlight feels nice in the late winter morning. I feel full of life, as evidenced by my gleaming eyes, reddened cheeks, and full lips. Well, I think they look like that. I haven't actually looked in the mirror, but I'm pretty sure my face is beaming with energy, like the face of that chubby Eastern deity, but not chubby. I take a glance at the chronometer. It's only 7 o'clock. I jump out of bed, do some stretches to relax my muscles, and go downstairs. Oh, good morning, Elise. Good morning, Alanis. I thought I'd wake up early today, but I don't see Aretha. Has she left? Yeah, she left when it was still dark. Oh, today is the day she's going to be doing the presentation at the conservatory, isn't it? Yes, it is. I wish I could go and see her, even though I probably wouldn't understand anything she said, haha. Do you want to go? I've received an invitation, you know. You did? Yes, I never told you I graduated from Conservatoire d'Ouverture. I also worked there a few years as a researcher. I even wrote a famous book on magic and psychology during my time at the Conservatoire. That's become my eternal ticket to events like these. But you'll give me your ticket? Won't you be going? I already promised the patient I would do therapy today. I can't break my promise, can I? You could, but I suppose you wouldn't. Ha ha ha. Well, I'm hungry. Breakfast? I was thinking of a shower first. Sure. I head to the bathroom and take a shower. When I get out of the bathroom, 2 plates of omelets and 2 cups of coffee are already served on the table. Thank you, Alanis. You're welcome. Shall we eat? Okay. Over breakfast, Alanis and I casual chat about my work at Howard's, her psychiatry sessions, Aretha in Magical Mechanical, the Conservatoire, and other mundane stuff. Just as we both finish our food, all of a sudden we hear people shout from outside. What was that? No idea, but there's lots of people outside all of a sudden. The shouting gets louder. I'll go see what's going on. Alanis gets up from the table and hurries to the front door, and I follow her. Oh shit! The street outside is brimming with thousands of proles who are marching and yelling angrily. Bring down Magical Mechanical! Yes, bring them down! Nullify them! Nullify Magical Mechanical! Nullify MM! Nullify MM! Nullify MM! Soon, everyone is chanting Nullify MM. The street seems to shake with the chant. I suddenly realize that many of these people are clad in the MM Factory uniform. Oh wow, so the Magical Mechanical workers themselves are chanting to bring it down. Holy cow. Some police officers are arriving, but before they can do anything, a number of proles assault them with magic, led by one or two Libertans. Libertad. And then I notice that while the majority of the proles are just factory workers, scattered among them are Libertad members. The Libertans seem to be the ones who are leading this huge crowd. Most of the proles can't cast magic due to the lack of mana, but the Libertans and a few proles who can are systematically protecting the other proles from the cops. But even the ordinary proles aren't just marching silently. Seeing a carriage parked outside a building, a prole begins smashing and kicking it. Another follows his lead. Soon, a small crowd has formed around it. Seconds later, the carriage is upside down, but that doesn't stop the angry proles from punching and kicking it. The first act of violence spreads in the minds of the mob like a wildfire. People demolish everything they see. As long as it belongs to a bourgeois, and everything here belongs to a bourgeois, they smash and destroy it. Oh wow, this is not good. AJ says here would be a great spot to end the stream. A small group of men break through the front door of a nearby house. A few minutes later, the rioters emerge back from inside the house, dragging a blood-soaked bourgeois man in his pajamas. Nullify MM! Nullify MM! The chant continues as the violence continues. What on earth is going on? I wish I could answer, Alanis, but I don't know either. Wow. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts when a male voice comes from the sky. Is this going to be Franz or Amadeus? My brethren proletarians. The proles erupt in wild cheers as soon as they hear the voice, which they seem to recognize, and I recognize it too. Yep, this is going to be Franz. Franz, yep. The voice continues. My brothers, the forgotten people of Overture, on behalf of Libertad, I wholeheartedly thank every one of you for your participation in this revolution. Yes, today is the day of our revolution, my brothers. Today is the day we take back Overture, which rightfully belongs to all of us. I look everywhere, but Franz isn't here. I can hear him clearly, but I don't see him. Where is this voice coming from? Alana says, he is not here. I think he's created a broadcast network. A broadcast network? What's that? Franz must be delivering the speech from somewhere, but he has Libertans spread out all over the city, perhaps stationed every 500 feet, to continuously amplify and re-amplify the sound wave like a relay until it reaches all of Overture. Oh wow. Magical scientists have theorized about the possibility of creating a broadcast network like this for years, but nobody has ever done a large-scale experiment to test the actual citywide network. The main problem is that it's not easy to selectively amplify a sound. The broadcast network could pick up other sounds, so a noise cancellation technique would have to be, I think this is not the time for this discussion. Well, we can ask Franz later how he solved the problem, but as soon as I find out where he is and drag his butt back here... Oh shit. Amadeus says, my brothers, you have suffered for far too long under the tyranny of the bourgeois. They and their wicked capitalism are what's responsible for the social injustice that robs you of your dignity as human beings. But rejoice, brothers, for the end of the tyranny starts today. Today, when you make it known that you will not stay quiet under their unjust rule. Today, when you, with your own hands, will dismantle the evil that has been abusing you. And what is that evil, I ask you? Magical mechanical, they all say and chant. Nullify MM, nullify MM. Yes, magical mechanical goes down today. The company and the devil who brought it into being. And who is that devil, I ask you? Joff Godwin! Kill Joff Godwin! Oh wow. Kill him! Kill Godwin, kill Godwin, kill Godwin! Within seconds, the Nullify MM chants have uniformly changed into Kill Godwin. Lana says, oh my gosh! So, they're marching to Lord Godwin's house. No, that's not where he is today. He's at the conservatoire. Alanis and I look at each other. The color has drained from her face. Oh wow. Aretha! Oh boy. With haste, Alanis and I set off to the Conservatoire d'Ouverture. Riots have broken out in the city, but we found that some streets are relatively safe because the proles are marching through the bigger streets. We're both heading to the same place, the Conservatoire. How you doing, Elise? Welcome to the stream. Try not to burst my eardrums while clearing your throat, Zax. Sorry about that, AJ. Falconar says, what the heck? I was doing Lords of the Realm too. I think that was like 1997. It's an old game. We hurry through the smaller streets whenever possible, avoiding the confrontation with the rioters. Sometimes there's no other way, and we have to slip through them while trying our best to avoid getting noticed. If we do get seen by a prole, it's my fire's job to take care of him. It isn't easy, but we're doing pretty well so far. As we get closer to the Conservatoire, we see more and more proles coming from all over the city. They're chanting, kill Godwin, and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. At last, we arrive at the Conservatoire. At this point, it's impossible to hide from the enraged proles, but lucky for us, there is a stronger police present in this area of the city. We're ignored as the Libertad sets up barricades to keep the police out. Hundreds of police officers are struggling to contain thousands and thousands of proles. Dozens of dragoons flying in their one-seater carriages have been seen zipping around the area, trying to control the situation from above. And despite the police's best effort, though the proles are pouring into the Conservatoire, in fact, they're now keeping the police from going inside. I hope Aretha's alright. Suddenly, Franz's voice blares again. My brethren proletarians, thank you for coming to Conservatoire d'Ouverture. This time his voice really sounds near. I can actually tell where it's coming from, and when I turn to its direction, I see Franz standing atop a balcony, looking down at the thousands of proles crowding into the courtyard. No, not Franz. This is Amadeus. Amadeus says, Magical Mechanical has a special event today at this Conservatoire, and they have sent out invitations to press, academics, investors, and other people in the industry. Joff Godwin himself is scheduled to make an appearance. However, it seems they have forgotten to invite people who have been working tirelessly, making their fortunes for them. So I have taken the liberty to extend the invitation to all of you. Oh wow. This isn't good, guys. Proles are like, nullify MM. Kill Godwin. Unfortunately, I have checked today's agenda and found it wanting. Therefore, I decided to amend the plans a bit. Today, Magical Mechanical was set to announce their next big thing, a so-called magic analytical engine. But trust me, my brothers, it's nothing compared to what we're about to show you. Oh wow. Before that, a few things. First of all, I hereby declare the Conservatoire de Overture is now in the hands of Libertad. And they're all cheering and chanting. Amadeus says, we have 2 hostages. The first is a world-renowned magical scientist from Conservatoire de Overture, Professor Johann Poe. Oh my god, Franz has changed so much. Do we remember when he respected Professor Poe? Now he's got Professor Poe as a hostage? What the heck? More like the Conservatoire is going to get destroyed. Yeah, it sounds like it, huh, Falconer? AJ says, this is just as Zax, hooray. Wow. What? No cheers? He has made countless contributions to magical science. It would be quite a loss if we were to lose him. Trust me on this. I hope you police and dragoons are listening. You wouldn't want us to kill Professor Poe, so don't try anything funny. Oh my god, he's holding Professor Poe hostage. This is crazy. Not Poe, his hat is really cool though. Oh my god, AJ. Amadeus says, and second, the man we're all dying to see today. The founder of Magical Mechanical, Lord Joff Godwin. And they start cheering Kill Poe again. Kill Godwin! Kill Godwin! Kill Godwin! They're all chanting. Behold, this is the man who is responsible for all the misery of the modern era. If you are poor, if you've gone hungry, if your blankets are old and threadbare, then this is the man to blame. If we are to make history, and we will, if we are to create a revolution, and we are, if we are to fight against injustice, and we are, then we must decide what to do with this man, the noble Joff Godwin. Therefore, I implore you, my brothers, to tell me, what punishment befits this social criminal, this Lord Joff Godwin? Falconer says Franz went to the loony bin. Pearl screamed, death! Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Kill him! Kill Joff Godwin! Kill Godwin, kill Godwin, kill Godwin. Could you imagine them all screaming that? Like thousands of pearls screaming, kill Godwin, kill Godwin. It would be so loud, it would fill the air. The people have spoken. We will begin when Magical Mechanical was set to begin before our little intervention. 2 hours, my brothers, at 10 o'clock, the revolution begins. I invite all proletarians to come here to Conservatoire de Overture to witness with your own eyes history in the making. Let the split blood of his wicked man be a symbol, and let the spilt blood of this wicked man be a symbol of the end of class discrimination, and let it be a testament to the proletariat spirit, which shall continue to fight for equality, for liberty, forever. And the crowd cheers. Hear me, police? Do you remember our good professor, Professor Johann Poe? In 2 hours, after we have delivered judgment to the social criminal Joff Godwin, we will release Professor Poe, safe and unharmed. We don't want to sacrifice Professor Poe. He will be valuable for the future of our great city. But if any of you set one foot in the Conservatoire, you will have forced our hand. At that moment, both Joff Godwin and Professor Poe will lose their lives, and their blood will be on your hands. Wow. My brothers, I want as many as you as possible to come inside the Conservatoire building. Come in, welcome to the Libertad Stronghold. This is where we take our stand for freedom. With one voice, we shall take back what it was taken from all of us. For liberty! For liberty! And the pearls scream back, for liberty! For liberty! For liberty! For liberty! For liberty! For liberty! They're all screaming. After delivering the speech, Amadeus disappears into the Conservatoire. And Alana says, Aretha is in there somewhere. I hope she's okay. We've got to do something. More proles are arriving at the conservatoire every minute, eager to witness the death of Lord Godwin. The situation is getting more and more chaotic. The riot is becoming more violent. Under chance for liberty, people are dying, cops, proles, and civilians. The police are trying to disperse the crowds without any success. The only way they could bring the situation under control would be to capture Amadeus or save Lord Godwin, but Amadeus has made that impossible for them. Even the dragoons can only observe the situation from outside. A few of them are gathered around their commander. Commander Wolf! Elise, you shouldn't be here. My friend is inside. I've got to save her. Your friend? Aretha, the magical mechanical engineer. Oh, her. Well, if she is with Joff when Amadeus took him, chances are she's been taken as a hostage, too. Can you do something? We're trying to find a way to infiltrate the conservatoire, but that's going to be difficult. There are too many eyes on us. If someone sees us go inside, Joff and Poe are toast. Look, we'll do our best for your friend, but our top priority is rescuing Joff and Poe. When are you guys going to do that? You got me. I'm going inside. I'll save Aretha myself. Don't go and make shit even more difficult for me. I don't want to have another hostage to deal with. My friend is in there. Well, my two closest friends are in there as well. I can't tell you how much I want to storm in that fucking building right now and slaughter these terrorists, but I can't do that. Do you know why? Because I have a fucking job to do, and that is to get the hostages, my friends, out alive. I'm going inside. You don't have to save me. Oh shit. Hey. Elise! I ignore Wolf and Alanis' shouts and dash off past the barricade, swimming through a raging sea of angry proles. Oh my god. Amadeus has threatened to kill his hostages if anyone from the police sets foot inside the conservatoire. But I'm not from the police, so... But if I don't do something soon, the police will barge in and Aretha could be killed. If Professor Poe and Lord Godwin are prize hostages, they might kill any other hostages they have the first order to show they're serious. Alright AJ, you can always watch the end of this, this weekend, it'll be up. I make it inside without being stopped. There are just as much shouting here as outside, but thankfully much less violence. On the downside, now there are only libertines around me. I notice a place where I can be relatively hidden. I hide myself there quickly and peek out to observe my surroundings. This might have been a bad idea. If anybody recognized me as a bourgeois, they would rip me apart, or worse. But it's too late to backtrack now. Where do I go from here? Amadeus gave a speech from high on the balcony, which means he is probably on the top floor. I see a staircase that could take me to the upper floor, but there are too many proles are standing around it. In fact, that's curious. The proles aren't simply standing around, they're actually lining up in several rows. Sticking my head out just barely, I follow the lines of proles with my eyes. They're being given mana potions by the libertines. Each prole is handed 2 vials. Race riot, yeah, even worse. Libertad is arming the masses with magic. They're building an army. As alarming as that is, I have no time to worry about this problem because what's important right now is to save Aretha. The staircase is no good. There's no way I can take those stairs without drawing attention to myself. My only choice is to find another way upstairs. I look around again and spot a relatively empty hallway just a short distance away. The hallway, being uncrowded, is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it is safer to venture into, but on the other hand, it might be empty because it's a dead end. But I don't see any better choice, so that's where I'm going to go. I wait until there aren't too many people around, then dash in the hallway as fast and inconspicuously as I can. I safely reach my destination and slow down to cautious strides. I don't know if there's anyone here to hear my footsteps. After walking just a few paces, I discover that the hallway is no blessing after all. First of all, the hallway ends a short distance away at a wall. There are no stairs. Uh-oh. Second, standing between me and a wall is a libertine. He looks at me curiously. He squints his eyes now, probably still unsure whether I belong in here or not. Hey, you. I think he just decided that I was a bourgeois, so without wasting any time, I courageously leaped forward at the libertine. Oh boy. Aware of the approaching danger, the libertine begins to cast a spell. But I am quicker. Summon. Courage. Isn't this going to draw the attention of all the pearls in there? Ah! He screams, but his voice is soon drowned by the blaze that swallows his body. Seeing the man's eyes rolling back in his head, I pull my flaming hand back and the fire vanishes. The libertine's body falls to the floor. Huh. Hey, what was that sound? Did a cop come in? Oh no, some people have heard the commotion and are now coming here. What should I do? Ah. Noticing a door on my right, I quickly open it. I thank the gods that it's unlocked, and after a quick glance confirms that nobody's inside, I drag the libertine's unconscious body inside and close the door behind me. Phew. Now I have to wait here until it's safe to come out again. Way to waste your time, Elise. Huh, this room looks familiar. Ah, this is Professor Poe's laboratory. Elise. My heart jumps when I hear a small voice call my name. I turn to where it has come from, get ready to cast another fire, but stop when I find a young woman peeking out from under a desk. It's Aretha. Elise! Aretha! Aretha crawls out from her hiding place and stands up. Elise, what are you doing here? Aretha, you're alright. Yeah, when we heard about the Libertad was coming, Lord Godwin told me to hide somewhere. I said he and Professor Poe should hide with me, but he said no. Libertad would look for him, he said, and if we hid together, they'd find all of us. He told me to wait until it was safe to call for help. But soon the conservatoire was swarming with proles. I couldn't figure out a way to call for help. It's almost impossible. Even Commander Wolf is at a loss of what to do. What should we do? Should we escape? I thought there was no way to escape, but if you could get inside, we should be able to get out. Escape? No. I'm going to stop Franz. Elise? Aretha, I saw Libertad giving out mana potions to the proles. They're building an army. If we wait, it's going to be too late to stop them. I see. That must be the real reason why they chose to stage an uprising at this conservatoire. They must have wanted to tap into the conservatoire's huge reserve of mana potions. This conservatoire is one of the few institutions in Overture that are allowed to practically have a lot of potions. I accidentally clicked it, sorry guys. This must also be the reason why Libertad wants to wait 2 hours. If they kill Lord Godwin now, the police and the dragoons would storm the place and Libertad might be wiped out. But in 2 hours, they will have finished handing out all the mana potions and have an army to fight the police with. Yes. All the more reason to stop Franz now. Aretha, before you escape, please tell me a way to reach the top floor because the main stairs are... Elise, I'm not going to escape. I won't leave you. Are you insane? If you want to stop Franz, I'm coming with you. Come on, girl. Give me some credit here. Aretha. Alright, well, let's do it together. Yeah. Alright. I tell Aretha about the balcony that Amadeus delivered his speech from. She recognizes it as the balcony outside the conference hall, which, as I predicted, is the top floor. On the top floor. We can't take the main stairwell because there are too many proles, but Aretha knows another flight of stairs that could get us there. It's just that the route requires us exit the building, go around the back, and re-enter through another entrance. We set out along the route. It takes a while, but we manage to stay away from the large crowds of proles gathered throughout the conservatoire. We are confronted by a couple of libertines on our way to the top, but Aretha and I have the element of surprise, and we deal with them easily with our magic. At last, we arrive at the conference hall. The conference hall is huge. Today, it was supposed to be a house and a big audience of industry experts, engineers, and academics. There is a huge machine on the stage. It is at least half as big as an omnibus, if not bigger. Or it's at least as big as an omnibus, if not bigger. This must be the invention that Magical Mechanical was going to unveil today, the project that Aretha and her team have been working on for years. But instead of a presenter and an audience, 3 figures are standing alongside 2 others who are down on their knees, their hands tied behind their backs. And Elise says, Amadeus. Amadeus says, Elise, what a surprise. I don't remember inviting you here. Aretha says, I invited her. She's my assistant, you know. Lord Godwin says, Miss Blyton, I told you to escape. I'm sorry, my lord. I couldn't find any way out of the building, so I decided to come save the day. Ha ha ha, Aretha, did you miss me? Is this the part where we're supposed to be running into each other's arms? Oh, wow. I would love to, only I don't have a knife on me. Oh, wow, these guys used to be best friends. Franz and Aretha used to be like amazing friends, and now look at them. Now Aretha says to him, he says to her, is this the part where we're supposed to run to each other's arms? And she says, I'd love to, only I don't have a knife on me. Wow, this is almost sad in a way. I'm happy to know that you're still as funny as ever. What the hell is wrong with you, Franz? Mommy taught you better than this. Professor Post says, What? Franz? Oh yes, Professor. I was your favorite student, Franz Byron. Franz, what is the meaning of this? Liberty, Professor. Weren't you listening? Now, Aretha, I don't suppose I could convince you to join me. This is a worthy cause. I would be freeing countless thousands from a life of poverty. Sorry, Franz, but emo boys in creepy cloaks just aren't my type. Oh, damn. You don't like it? Oh, my dear, you're thinking about it all wrong. This creepy cloak is what makes me Amadeus. This is Amadeus, and Amadeus is the savior of the people, not Franz Byron. I'm just playing a necessary role. A savior, huh? Franz and Aretha's reunion is surprisingly unemotional. They're just as sardonic towards each other as they ever were when they were students. Compared to that, the way Judy and I have been staring at each other isn't any more melancholy. Judy. Elise. Judy, this is not the way to save the proles. This can't end well for anyone. What other way is there besides? What do you know? You haven't been a prole for years. You've forgotten what it's like to struggle through life. No, maybe I'm not, and you're right. I don't know the suffering that you have to deal with every day. But I also know you don't like fighting like this. You're right, I don't. But we're not doing this because we like fighting, Elise. We're doing it because nobody is going to give us the equality we've been wishing for our whole life. Don't you remember working at the factory? It destroys you. It destroys your body, your mind, and your soul. Nobody works there because they want to. But we didn't have a choice. Working at the factory doesn't kill people, Judy. You're right, killing is a choice, and the factory can't choose evil. It's the factory owners who kill us. You wouldn't understand, Elise. Not everyone gets a lucky break like you did. Yeah, maybe I'll just never understand. Judy, just answer one question for me. What is that? Does me being a bourgeois mean I'm no longer your friend? No, you're still my friend, Elise. You'll always be my friend. Thank you, Judy. Touching. I really wish we could all get along, but you know, Elise, you've broken the rules. The rules? I specifically forbade anyone to set foot in the conservatoire, but here you are. Tell me, why shouldn't I kill our 2 esteemed hostages right now? I'm not from the police. You said only the police couldn't come inside. You invited the libertines to come on in. I bent the rules. I didn't break them. Oh, but you were with the police at the abandoned factory 3 days ago, were you not? I have to assume that you are one of their agents. Assume whatever you want. You won't kill Lord Godwin and Professor Poe before the libertines downstairs have finished distributing mana potions to the proles anyway. Ha 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 ha. Clever. We're going to stop you, Amadeus. Lady G-Song says, Lady Elise, I hope you haven't forgotten about my presence here. I would not wish what happened to the young Godwin to happen to you. Oh shit. And Lord Godwin says, Huh? It was you? You're the bastard who murdered my son? You filthy animal. Amadeus says, Language, my lord. There are ladies present. I'm not afraid of you, Ji-sung. Then I'm afraid we'll have to do battle, Lady Elise. And so I will. Or Judy says, so will I, Elise. Oh, wow. A confrontation is inevitable. Aretha and I will fight Ji-sung and Judy. Amadeus is watching from afar with the hostages. At least we won't have to worry about accidentally injuring Lord Godwin or Professor Poe. For a while, the 4 of us just stare intently at one another. I realize how strange this is. We're all here fighting for what we believe in. We're all really good guys in our own eyes. There is no hate between us. Ji-sung and I respect each other. Judy and I love each other. But today, somehow, we are enemies. And if we don't fight for all we're worth, everything we've worked for will be lost. Aretha says, Summon! The silence is broken by Aretha's summon of intelligence. A raging torrent of water races to Ji-sung and Judy. Ji-sung, behind me! Roger! Summon! A wall. A massive wall emerges from the floor just as the water reaches the 2 libertines. The water fails to penetrate the rocky shield that Ji-sung has conjured. As the water slams into the wall, I lurch forward. The mana in my hand is boiling with courage. Summon! The rock might have been thick enough to withstand Aretha's water, but in the scorching flames of my fire, it turns to ash. But behind the destroyed wall of rock, Judy stands with her right hand open, her magical aura full of faith. Summon faith. She summons a forceful gust of wind that blows out my fire. But Judy doesn't stop there. The wind's strength suddenly amplifies manyfold into a tornado. Not only that, I can sense courage heating up in her other hand into a fire tornado. Be careful, Elise, it's a fire tornado. I make quick strides backward until I stand next to Aretha. Any idea how to deal with that? Yes, leave this to me. Aretha stretches both her arms forward and draws power from her intelligence. Summon, amplify. Water. From her hands spurted an immense amount of water. I didn't realize Aretha was so powerful. Almost instantaneously, there is enough water to flood the whole conference hall. The fire from Judy's fire tornado is quenched in the flood. The water and the swirling wind meet to produce a whirlpool, which dissipates quickly as it widens to cover the hall. Before the flood can drown our opponents, however, Ji-sung steps in. The Divapanian mage muscular body convulses. The conservatoire's building shakes and rumbles with him. Oh my. Quake! Oh no, this is bad. Oh boy. As the building trembles, a rising tide appears from Aretha's flood of water. What's happening? He combined my flood with his quake to create a tsunami. Elise, move! Aretha quickly leaps backward, but it's too late for me. I find myself engulfed in a large body of violently churning water. Oh boy. The current twists me around, I can't breathe, and I don't know which way I'm facing anymore. But I don't lose courage. There is one thing I can still do. Summon! Courage again, fire. I let my whole body burst into the biggest fire that I can summon. The size of the conflagration and the heat it produces surprises me. The large body of water heats rapidly and starts to steam. In a matter of seconds, all the water has evaporated. Elise, are you okay? Yeah. Not entirely okay though. The tsunami knocked me around pretty good. All my joints hurt, and I'm shaking all over. Thankfully, I can treat pains. I touch my chest with both hands. Transform with compassion. She's going to heal herself. A soothing sensation runs through my body, and when it leaves, it takes the pain away with it. Yeah, I'm okay now. Impressive, Lady Elise. Remind me not to go swimming with you. You haven't seen anything yet, Jisung. Aretha! Yes, sir. Aretha and I stand side by side and hold hands. We let our mana flow together. Some combo magic spells can be cast by two magicians without them actually touching. When Jisung combined his quake with Aretha's flood to cast a tsunami, he wasn't in contact with Aretha. That's because the combination happened after invocations. That is, after Aretha invoked Summon and Amplify on her intelligence and after Jisung invoked Transform on his willpower. But if the combination happens before the invocation, handholding is necessary to allow two different magical traits to form two different magicians to be invoked at once. That's what Aretha and I are doing right now. We're mixing my courage and her willpower together. Elise, on one. One. Summon! Even though there's a ceiling between us and the sky, a bolt of lightning strikes at Jisung and Judy. Huh? Judy jumps backwards and floats away from danger. She has cast a levitation spell to steer herself away from the attack. Makes sense. On the contrary, Jisung doesn't move from his spot. Instead, it strengthens his willpower to welcome the incoming lightning. Oh my gosh. Summon! Another wall. A huge rock materializes in front of him. The lightning strikes the rock with a thunderous crash. The boulder doesn't break. Then, Jisung swings his arms wide horizontally, and a blast of wind moves the enormous rock forward. Okay, so now he's casting a hurl of wind at his own rock. To push it at them, right at Aretha. Oh boy. Aretha! Aretha tries to avoid it, but she's not nearly as quick as a speeding rock. Oh no, he was almost casting like an asteroid at her now. I mean, a huge rock, an asteroid, he's gonna hurl it at her. This is not good. Oh. The impact throws Aretha through the air. Somehow she manages to land on her feet. Aretha, are you okay? Not really. Give me a second. So she's casting a heal with compassion. How are you feeling now? Much better. Thanks for healing me. You're welcome. That foreign mage is a serious problem. Yeah, Jisung is pretty strong. Quite the battle, I know, right? Seriously, Jisung is probably unbeatable. Aretha and I could probably handle Judy by ourselves, but Jisung is in a different league. Elise, what do you think we should do now? Attack Jisung or attack Judy? I think it makes more sense to take out the weaker one first. I mean, playing RPGs and stuff like that, if you take out one person first and combine your forces to take out the weaker enemies first, it usually gives you a better chance. Just like, you know, when you play an RPG or a game or whatever, you take out... Sometimes it's smart, though, to take out the boss first, because if the boss is, like, spawning a bunch of, like, creatures or whatever. But, I don't know. What do you guys think? Rose, where's my video? What video? One like 2 weeks ago? Oh, for Theory of Fear? Yeah, I'm still working on the Theory of Fear. I got a lot of editing to do on it, Rose. Yep. Attack Judy? Okay. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's try it. Jisung is too strong. I think we should attack Judy. Okay. Judy, am I really going to attack my friend? This is kind of sad. Despite what I told Aretha, I lunged straight at Jisung while gathering my courage. So she fooled Aretha? Bad idea, Lady Elise. Oh, Jisung says, bad idea, Lady Elise. Jisung takes a defensive stance, ready to receive my magic spell. Aretha, on the other hand, has intelligently decided to attack Judy. Like Jisung, Judy takes a defensive stance. Summon! A stream of water shoots out from Aretha's hand. Having prepared herself for that attack, Judy gracefully dodges that water. Meanwhile, I'm getting closer to Jisung. Seeing me approaching, the bulky man gathers his own magical power. He's ready to attack. But suddenly, I make a quick turn. Huh? I dash to Judy, who has just dodged Aretha's water attack. And Judy says, oh no. I summon my courage and amplify its power. An explosion. A ball of fire appears in front of Judy before suddenly exploding. Ah! The force of the explosion blows Judy away, her body engulfed in fire. Oh shit. Judy! Jisung releases his accumulated magic power and rushes to Judy, who has fallen to the floor. My attack was a direct hit. She should be heavily wounded. Hang on. He touches Judy's shoulder with his hand and draws some energy from his compassion. Amplify compassion spell. Are you okay? Yes, thank you. Lady Elise's fire magic is very strong. We have to be careful. I'll be careful. Good work, Elise. Yeah, but I forgot that Jisung could use compassion magic. Huh, should we try again? Now what? Wow. Wow, 10 out of 10 hit. What do you guys think? Attack Jisung? Okay, because if we attack Judy again, I think it's going to be the same way. Even if we hurt her, he's going to have compassion to heal her. Jisung is a huge problem. We have to defeat him first somehow. Okay, let's do that. I aim a hand at Jisung. Summon! Courage again. Summon! Water again. Aretha and I attack Jisung at the same time. Judy charges forward towards my fire. From her hand comes a giant gust of wind, and the fire is extinguished. Oh boy. With my fire gone, Jisung now only has to deal with Aretha's water, which is going to be easy for him. He courageously dodges it, dashes to Aretha, and counters with his own spell. Uh-oh. Summon courage. Ah! Aretha's body is suddenly aflame. Luckily, she manages to cast her own spell before the fire burns her too badly. Water. She quenches the fire and backs away a safe distance from our beastly opponent. Aretha! Another heal spell. I heal Aretha again. Whew, thanks. Jisung is just too strong. Yeah, but we do it now, Elise. What do we do now, Elise? Huh. Here we go again. That didn't work well. Because but Judy seems to be the weak link. I say we keep tasking Jisung. Let's go ahead and try it again. We won't be able to win until we take out Jisung. Let's attack him again. Okay. Without missing a beat, Aretha casts her next spell. The conference hall trembles and shakes. Summon! Oh wow. Fireball. At the same time, I launch a fireball at Jisung. Quake and a fireball. This quake is quite powerful. You should levitate. Following her comrade's suggestion, Judy leaps into the air and levitates herself. Jisung widens his stance and lowers himself to improve his balance, while at the same time gathering mana in his hand. Yarg! Cast another water ball. He throws a concentrated water ball to counter my fireball. Oh boy. The water ball passes right through my fireball, extinguishing it. It continues towards me at a high speed, because his magic is probably a lot more powerful. So not only did it douse her fireball, but it doused it and continues to hurl at Elise. Before I can react, it hits my chest hard. Ah! My fireball might have evaporated some of the water and slowed it down a pace, which is the only reason I'm even still standing. Elise, are you hurt? She cast a heal spell. Oh no, I cast heal myself. I cast a heal on myself. Not anymore. Elise, it's impossible to hurt him. What do we do now? Attack him again. Let's try attacking Jisung one last time, Aretha. Okay. We'll use combo magic. Okay. We both straighten out our arms. I gather my courage. Aretha sharpens her intelligence. Summon. A few drops of water from Aretha form at Aretha's fingertips. Nullify. As a few more drops of water appear, I absorb the water's heat. The water begins to freeze. Amplify, they both scream. Now they're sending shards of ice at him. We cast an ice storm. Somewhere below the ceiling, above Jisung and Judy, a wintry cloud appears and freezing rain pours down hard onto the two Libertans. Anything the rain droplets touch is frozen instantly. I don't think we can avoid this. Just protect yourself with a barrier. I'll do something about this. A barrier won't hold out against an ice storm for long. I know. Without asking any more questions, Judy encases herself in a magic barrier. On the other hand, Jisung runs towards me and Aretha while dodging the freezing raindrops. Good grief, this guy is one hell of a warrior, is he not? And then he cast his spell. A quake? The building shakes angrily, much harder than during Aretha's quake. Oh, I'm falling! Me too! Unable to keep our balance, Aretha and I both crash hard onto the floor. The ice storm disappears. But the building doesn't stop trembling. The floor buckles in and then jolts up suddenly, bouncing Aretha and I high into the air. I don't see Aretha. My ears are ringing, drawing out all other sound. And then, just as I begin to notice the sensation of weightlessness, I see the stage coming up fast to meet me. Oh no. The last thing I see before losing consciousness is Franz's smug smile. Oh boy. Aretha and I wake up that evening in our beds at home. We're told that Libertad released us, along with Professor Poe, after Lord Godwin was executed. We learn that Commander Wolf stormed the conservatoire with her dragoon and the police, but it was too late. Libertad had finished building an army of magic-equipped proles, and the police weren't able to defeat them. By noon, the police had to fall back. The conservatoire now belongs to Libertad. But Libertad's revolution has just begun. From my room, I can hear thousands of people on the streets outside shouting, "For liberty!" What is going to happen to Overture? Would things have gone differently if we'd been able to stop Franz? Retry or don't retry? Wow. Well, I guess we gotta retry, right? Huh, that foreign mage is a serious problem. Yeah, G-Song is pretty strong. Alright, so we're gonna retry the end of it here. Obviously, we failed. Well, let's attack Judy this time. We should attack Judy. I'm gonna go through this a lot quicker, guys. Because we've already read a lot of this. She takes a defensive stance. Aretha casts water, stream of water. Preparing herself for the attack, Judy gracefully dodges the water. Meanwhile, I'm getting closer to G-Song. Bulky Man gathers his own power. He's ready to attack. Suddenly, I make a quick turn. What? I dash to Judy, who has just dodged Aretha's water attack. Oh no. I summon my courage and amplify its power. An explosion. He's going to heal her. We know that. So we're starting overall from the start. Judy, he releases amplified power. He heals her. Hang on. He touches Judy's shoulder. Just keep attacking Judy, you think? Yeah, attack Judy. Let's try Judy again, okay? I don't want to hurt Judy like this, but we're committed to this battle now. We won't be given a second chance. Go! Oh, damn. I throw a fireball at Judy while Aretha runs towards G-Song. You won't hit me again, she says. She casts a wind. She sends a gale of wind blowing at my fireball. Aretha's still running towards G-Song while building up her magical power. Humph. Likewise, the heavy man is ready to attack Aretha with his own magic when Aretha finally casts her spell. However, she doesn't direct it at him. Instead, she attacks Judy, who is still casting wind to defend against my fireball. She casts rocks. Ah! For the second time, Judy takes a direct hit. She falls to the floor after her body gets brutalized by dozens of rocks. Oh boy. Judy! Damn! G-Sung was going to attack Aretha, but seeing Judy lying in pain on the floor, he stops his assault, runs back to Judy, and revives her. So he casts a heal on her to revive her from dying, probably. Damn it! Judy. Amadeus says, Judy, stop fighting. Leave this to G-Sung. What? No, how could I stop fighting? You're dragging him down. He can't fight if he has to keep healing you. But he can fight better without you. No, I'll keep fighting. He doesn't have to heal me. Amadeus says, Judy. Well, you heard her, Ji-Sung. Stop healing Judy after this. Understood. Oh boy. Elise says, "We did it." "Yeah. Should we do it again?" Attack Judy. He's not going to heal her again. I don't know if this is the right choice to make, though, guys. Do we really want to kill Elise's old friend from the factory? Aretha and I break into a sprint at the same time. There's no more fainting. Our target is Judy. Somehow we have to make this work. Prepare yourself. I know. Judy and Jisung ready their magic. Elise. Yeah? Suddenly, Aretha and I drift apart and run in different directions. What? The sudden change of formation startles the two Libertans. They were going to attack me and Aretha at the same time, but now their attention is divided. Judy runs after me and shoots a fireball. And Jisung shoots a water ball at Aretha. Both Aretha and I are both still on the move. We easily avoid their attacks. Immediately after dodging, Aretha and I turn our attention back to our target. We both dash at Judy with all the speed we can muster. What? Judy panics. Since Aretha and I are coming from two different directions, she can't defend against us both. She erects a barrier around herself. Jisung tries to intercept Aretha, but he isn't fast enough. Aretha gets to Judy before Jisung can stop her. At the same time, I also reach Judy. Aretha's hand glows with the power of intelligence. Summon! My hand glows with the might of courage. Nullify! Yep, and ice. And Judy's barrier freezes solid. It cracks under the cold, unable to withstand the freezing pressure, soon shatters into tiny ice shards, causing Judy's body to be blanketed in ice. When we both see that she's no longer able to fight, we release our magic power, and the ice immediately turns into water and splashes onto the floor. My friend falls to the wet floor, unconscious. Jisung soon catches up to us, but he just stops. He lifts Judy's unconscious body, carries her on his shoulder, and brings her to a faraway corner from which Amadeus has been watching our battle. He puts Judy's body down gently beside Amadeus and walks back to me and Aretha. His steps are quick, but not hurried. Well done, it's just us now. Now, let's finish this. And he casts another fire. Jisung attacks us immediately. Aretha and I just barely jump back to dodge his fire. With Judy out of the picture, it's easier for me and Aretha to defend against Jisung's onslaught. We keep moving, and in a short time we have put Jisung between us. Now, whenever he attacks one of us, he exposes his back to the other. That means after he casts a spell, he must quickly revert to a defensive stance to block the incoming attack from his blind spot. Aretha and I alternately attack our opponent. Fireball, water spell. But we're getting nowhere. While we can now dodge his magic more easily, Jisung can dodge ours just as effortlessly, which is a problem since Aretha is in my line of fire and I'm in hers. We need to use stronger magic. Aretha, let's regroup. Coming. Aretha shoots a jet of water to distract Jisung and dashes away. We meet a few strides away from the Libertan and join our hands. Like before, her willpower and my courage flow together. Summon, amplify, they both say. But the magic is nothing like before. A dark cloud appears below the ceiling and casts its ghastly shadow upon the conference hall. It glares for an instant and then lightning strikes at Jisung. But this magician is fast, even faster than lightning. He moves back just at the right moment, predicting where the lightning will strike before it does. Sparks fly up from the ground before his feet as he maneuvers around the barrage. Holy cow, this guy's like dodging lightning bolts? Wow. Yet the dark cloud doesn't go away. It flashes again, and lightning strikes again, and again, and again. It soon becomes a shower of lightning bolts. However, the Devamentarian won't go down. He manages, despite sporadically dodging our lightning attack, to steer himself straight toward Aretha and me. Aretha, run! Okay. With Jisung approaching fast, Aretha and I break off and run in opposite directions. The ferocious cloud dissolves like a puff of smoke. We revert to our previous formation on either side of Jisung. It's not enough to shake us out of our stalemate, though. Aretha and I soon meet up again and try another combo attack. Another lightning storm? The thunderstorm materializes again. The cycle repeats several times. It's an exhausting strategy for us, but it's wearing Jisung down as well. If we keep this up, eventually Jisung will be out of mana, or he'll be too worn out to dodge so quickly, and he'll fall to our thunderstorm. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one who realizes this. While dodging lightning strike after lightning strike, Jisung's magical aura begins to steadily grow stronger. All of a sudden, he stops. I wish I didn't have to do this. He straightens his posture and raises his two arms up to the sky. A lightning bolt strikes at him, but strangely it gets deflected as if it were an invisible barrier around Jisung's body. Oh shit. Another bolt strikes, but just like before, it's deflected. A foreign mage's magical aura continues to grow stronger. From what I can feel, from it I can feel a mix of various magical traits. Even compassion is in there. What kind of magic is this? Slowly his body is lifted up by a mysterious force until he is 2 or 3 feet above the floor. Rays of light appear around his floating body, and at the center a bright white light shines and forms a small ball. Over time, the ball of light gets bigger until it completely swallows Jisung's body. What? Aretha, we have to take cover somewhere. What is he doing? I don't know, but we have to hide. Still holding Aretha's hand, I pull her and start running. Elise, we can use the analytical engine as cover. Aretha points at the magic machine on the stage. Okay. We rush onto the stage. As soon as we get there, we take cover behind the large machine. The machine is about as big as an omnibus. I hope this will be enough to block whatever Jisung's about to throw at us. The ball of light swells even larger. Damn. Bright rays appear again around Jisung, and the ball of light explodes into a burst of energy in the shape of a dome. The conference hall is engulfed in white light. Luminaire! What the hell? We don't even know what this is made out of. It was a bunch of question marks. But it's not like an explosion. It doesn't look destructive. When the light touches the floor doesn't react in any way. But I know, although I don't understand how, that if Aretha or I get swallowed in that dome of light, that would be the end for us. There would be no chance for revive. This is a deadly magic. It's like nothing I've ever seen. What is this? I don't know any spells like this. Jisung is a mage from De Pantera, the land where magic comes from. He told me there's magic there that nobody in Overture can formulate. It's awe-inspiring to see. This is the deadliest magic spell I've ever experienced, even deadlier than Frederick's meteor. Oh, damn. We hear sounds of fire and water from within the magic machine. What was that? The magic casting engines inside the analytical engine demo have burst into fire and water. It's strange. Like the floor, the walls, the ceiling, and other parts of the building, the magic machine is not showing any visible damage, but it's reacting to Jisung's magic. What is this? Is Overturian understanding the magic so limited? It seems like an eternity later the light finally dissipates. Jisung is floated back down and landed on the floor. He looks exhausted. At least he's tired after unleashing that crazy magic. Let's finish him. But with what? Our thunderstorm couldn't do anything against him. This is a mage who is strong enough to destroy a meteor, remember? Then let's use even stronger magic. Stronger than meteor? Yes, stronger than meteor. You know that despite the name, many combo magic spells can actually be cast by just one magician, right? Yes, because a magician has two hands. Yep, this includes meteor. Even though meteor combines willpower and courage, it's still possible to cast it by oneself. But there are spells that can't be cast alone no matter how good a magician you are. There are spells that require more than two first-level invocations, which means they require more than two hands, such as Blizzard. Blizzard is a very high-level magic spell. It combines Ice Storm with Wind. Ice Storm itself is amplified ice, and ice is a combination of water and freeze. Its complete formula is Amplify, Summon, Intelligence, plus Nullify Courage, plus Summon and Faith. Elise, are you up for it? Aretha, I'm up to anything, but we can't cast a spell. My gifted traits are Courage and Compassion. Yours are Intelligence and Willpower. We don't have faith. No, Elise, we do have faith. Huh? Aretha looks me straight in the eye. In contrast to her usual always bright face, she is now dead serious. Elise, do you have faith in me? I do. And do you have faith in yourself? I do. Do you have faith in us? I do. Then we do have faith. Okay, we have faith. All right, let's do it. Wow. So Aretha and I stand side by side, her left hand joined with my right. We close our eyes, we open them again. A second later, they shine with a color of determination. Aretha's right hand glows with a blue light as she taps into her intelligence. Summon! Teeny droplets of water appear and surround us. They are suspended in the air. My left hand glows with a red light as I muster up my courage. Nullify! Heat leaves the water and the droplets of water turn into tiny ice crystals. Amplify! More of the ice manifests all around the conference hall. The temperature in the room drops fast. We lift our heads slightly as if we're singing a silent hymn. Finally, our joined hands glow with green light as our mana flows together. We are about to take a leap of faith. Summon! Strong winds, a severe snowstorm. Not even Jisung can escape the raging storm. He tries to avoid the snow, but such a thing is impossible. Not only must he move while enduring the extreme cold, the snow is being blown by frenzied gusts of wind. Finally realizing the futility of avoiding the attack, he shields himself in a barrier. But it doesn't help. Jisung and his barrier are soon covered in a thick layer of snow, and before long the barrier shatters under the freezing cold. We see Jisung frozen in the blizzard, and then we see his stiff body fall. The mighty mage has fallen. This noble warrior has finally fallen. Wow, we did it, guys. We did it. It's over, Franz. Is it now? Elise is right. Both Judy and Jisung are unconscious. It's only you now. But you know as well as we do that you can't fight without your hands. It's over, Franz. I think you're forgetting about the thousands of proles and libertans in this building, and the tens of thousands more outside. Oh boy. They can't help you. Do you know what Commander Wolf said before I went in? She said she was dying to storm in this conservatory and slaughter all of you libertans, and the only thing holding her back was your threat. Well, she did use more colorful language, but the point is, What do you think she would do if I were to go out right now and tell her that Aretha and I have secured the hostages? Do you think your thousands of proles and libertans could stop Wolf, let alone Wolf and a Dragoon unit? You might have a chance of winning if the libertans had finished distributing mana potions to the proles, but they haven't, have they? Let's stop this, Franz. Stop this riot and stop the bloodshed. If the police charge in, many people will needlessly die. Is that really what your revolution is about? People being needlessly sacrificed? For what? For liberty, Aretha. Liberty from what? From the tyranny of the bourgeois, that's what. And you think that if the bourgeois and the aristocracy and the monarchy fell, all the problems in Overture would magically go away? Even if the monarchy fell, what then? Another form of oligarchy and certain to take its place. You can't create a democratic government overnight. It doesn't have to be overnight. Franz, I've been thinking a lot about what you were saying. Have I become a bourgeois? And after thinking long and hard, I've arrived at an answer. It doesn't matter. Call it what you want, bourgeois, prole, it doesn't matter. It's just a label. Why do we insist on putting labels on everything? You said Libertad's mission is to abolish these classes. But do these classes even matter? And even if you did abolish the classes, even in a free society, there would be the rich and there would be the poor. And things would stay the same in every way that matters. A true classless society is a utopia, Franz. It's an impossible dream. In your utopia, the government would have to control everything. If no one were allowed to be rich or poor, you'd have to do away with wealth altogether. But it wouldn't make everyone equally rich, it would make us all equally poor. This revolution isn't about money, you fools. It's about access to equality. And in this era, equality means access to magic. With magic, people will at least have a chance to live a good life. Magic? Yes, I used to believe that magic was hope. And you don't believe that anymore? I don't know. But do you know what I have learned? What I've learned from seeing you, Franz? Or rather, Amadeus? Me? Amadeus, haven't you accomplished so much without magic? You revived Libertad and made them stronger than it ever was before. You won the hearts of people. You rallied them to your cause. Aretha's mom told me about the broadcast network you created this morning. It seems you solved a problem that previously prevented a citywide broadcast network from ever being made. Noise cancellation, yes, but in the end, I still wasn't the one who cast the spells necessary to build the network. But you were the one who told them how, were you not? Well, yes. Franz, think back to when we were doing experiment on the broken piano. What about that? Did you cast a single magic spell during the experiment? No, you were the one that did. But it was still your research, was it not? Amadeus doesn't say anything. Well, he says, Aretha told me that you didn't have many friends when you were still in the conservatoire. But why don't you look outside now? You have tens of thousands of friends out there right now. All of this. You did all of these things without magic. And how did you do it, Franz? He doesn't say anything. I'd attribute it to my knowledge. Knowledge, yes, knowledge. Magic is great. Magic is useful. But is magic a basic necessity? Or is it just a commodity? Wouldn't you think that perhaps knowledge is more important? Perhaps what people need to advance in as a society is not magic, but education. Franz, I know there is a lot wrong with our society. Maybe the monarchy is at fault. Maybe magical mechanical is evil. I don't know. But I don't think that a violent revolution is going to help. If 1,000,000 people who don't have access to magic today suddenly do have access tomorrow, would that really solve our problems? Or would it create even more problems instead? I think Elise has a great point here. On the other hand, wouldn't educated masses have the potential to bring about a much greater and more positive change? We don't know, Elise. Exactly, Franz, we don't know. Which is why we look for answers. Just like scientists, we hypothesize, we experiment, and if our experiment fails, we try something else. But for an experiment to be scientifically meaningful, it has to be a controlled experiment. Aretha, you're still smart as I remember. And Elise, you really have changed, haven't you? 5 years ago, you were still a simple factory worker. And now you're debating political philosophy with a revolutionary. Well, I can't say I hate your new self. And Aretha says, Elise, we don't have much time. In a short while, Libertad will have the proles be strong enough to fight the police. I know. So Franz, what's it going to be? Will you give up, or must I go outside and tell the police that the hostages are safe? If the police storm this place, many people will die, Franz. Please, make the right choice. And so he doesn't say anything. Very well. They both pause. All of us have stopped speaking. Only the noise from outside can be heard inside the conference hall. Franz's revolution is certain to end in failure, but he still looks calm. We look into each other's eyes, and there's no hate in his gaze. Then, for the first time since I met him as Amadeus, I see Franz make a genuine smile, though the smile only lasts for a second. He turns away, pulls back his hood to reveal his face, and goes out to the balcony. Now we're Franz's point of view. I will have to rewind the stream to see how Franz lost his hands. Yeah, that happened yesterday. That happened yesterday, early in the stream. Falconar. I don't know if everything Elise and Aretha said is correct, but they are at least right about one thing. It's over. Jisung was my only weapon until we armed the masses with mana. Now, with the hostages free, there's no way the revolution can succeed. Well, what can I do? I guess I have no choice but to put a little faith in them. I stand on the balcony and look down at the tens of thousands of proles outside the conservatoire. My brethren proletarians! And they cheer. How many times have I said this today? I always call them my brethren, but in my mind I never see them as anything more than nameless people whom I must save. Sheep that must be herded. And now that I look closer, even though I can't see their faces individually, I can tell that these aren't the faces of people who are looking up to a savior. Instead, they're looking at a brother. They're looking at a friend. Well, that's one more thing Elise is right about. I was wrong. These people never needed a savior. To say that they needed a savior is to say that they were incapable of saving themselves. Which can't be true because the whole point of the revolution is to give the people an opportunity to save themselves. My brothers, hear me out. I have come to realize something very important. The people quiet down, eager to hear what I have to say. I've decided not to taint our revolution with Joff Godwin's filthy and sinful blood. They start screaming, What? We're here to see Joff Godwin die! Kill Godwin! Kill Godwin! The change in mood is palpable. I can feel it even from high on this balcony. I understand how they feel. Listen to me, we cannot kill Joff Godwin. Our fight today is over. I don't doubt your resolve to fight. I don't doubt your readiness to sacrifice even your own lives. But I don't want to sacrifice anyone. Our fight today is over. We have proven our point. The bourgeois now know that once the proletariat is united, we can never fall. However, our revolution is far from over. Today, I call on you to go back to your peaceful lives. Go back to the factory and do your work. Work hard like you always do. But don't let another class dictate what you can and cannot do. Reclaim your freedom. The kind of freedom I'm talking about is not freedom from work, but freedom from want. Magic is not what we're fighting for. Freedom from magic, freedom from slavery to convenience, is the true revolution. Overture is not like Divan Patera, the archipelago in the East, where people have been using magic for millennia. We've only had magic for 3 centuries. Our society we remember how to live without magic. If the bourgeois and the government are trying to make your life hard through restriction on mana potions, well, don't play by the rules. Live free with the resources available to you. We can make a thriving society on our own as long as we stand united. Mana be damned. No magic? Did he say we have to try living without magic? How can we do anything without magic? How can anyone live without magic, they say. How, my brothers? Look. I take off my prosthetic hands and show my crippled arms to everyone. This is the first time I've ever done this. Even in Libertad, only Jisong and Judy knew about my handicap. Even from high up on this balcony, I can hear a veritable inward rush of air as the crowd realizes what they are witnessing. I feel so much shame in showing them my disability. They must feel cheated, knowing that their leader is incapable of using magic, that he is an invalid. But this, too, isn't necessary. We must work to change the perception that the inability to use magic is shameful. I can't even use magic. People stare in disbelief. They murmur and whisper to each other, keeping their voices down. But the sources of tens of thousands of people's whispers floats up to me like a hissing wind. I cannot use magic. It's a fact worth repeating. If I, whom you call your leader, could do all this without magic, then think of what you're all capable of in your own lives. You don't need magic. As long as you stand and walk forward together with your fellow men, you guys can do anything. No one, not the monarch, not the capitalist, not the police, can stop you. A happy life is yours for the taking. I have faith in all of you. Listen to me, my brothers. I want you to stop fighting the police. Our revolution will continue, but it will continue peacefully. What happens next is my decision. Do not react with violence, no matter what happens. I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and open them again. Hear me, police. The riot is over. The proletariat are not your enemy. Libertad has surrendered. We will no more be fighting. There will be no more bloodshed. I pause and I feel my lips quivering. Except for one man. I, Amadeus, will not surrender. Using my 2 crippled forearms, I take out a vial of mana potion from my pocket. I bring it to my mouth, and using my teeth, I take the cap off the vial. I drink my first mana potion in 5 years. My brothers, I apologize for disappointing you all. Joff Godwin is an evil man, but we shall not repay evil with evil. Let this be the symbol of your revolution. I let my mana flow through my whole body and gather my magical power. This will be my final magic spell. With this spell, I'm placing my faith in everything I believe in the proles, in the revolution, and in change. I am putting my faith in Elise, too, and Aretha, and Judy, and Jisung. I can feel my magical aura getting thicker. The mana in my body is restless. It pulses through my veins, faster and faster. I can't believe this. What's with this magical aura? I don't know. I've battled many magicians, but I've never felt any magic this strong. It's crazy. Look, everyone around the conservatory can feel it. Even people on the street. It's going to be a very powerful magic spell. Policeman says, Commander Wolf, this is dangerous. We have to attack Amadeus before he unleashes that spell. No, wait. Summon. He summons Faith. Here it comes. Everyone take cover. Don't give him the chance to fire. Attack. No, stop. What the hell is he casting? What? Oh! What the heck? Oh! Ha ha ha! What? What is going on? Arrgh! I'm hit from every angle by powerful offensive magic. Those policemen are really going all out, aren't they? Their magic assaults me without mercy. Oh, it's all the policemen are attacking him now. Oh shit. I regret that it has to end this way, but this is the only way. I wouldn't have been able to get the pros to go home peacefully until they saw someone, anyone, take a fall. Until they could clearly see what the police would do to them. Hey, at least this is glorious. So remember guys, his arms were severed by Lord Frederick. So, his arms were severed by Lord Frederick yesterday in Part 7, early on. And for 5 years, he hasn't been able to cast a single spell. That's why we went through all the stuff that he had to go through, and we felt really bad for Franz Amadeus, because he had the inability to cast any kind of magic. So when he drank the mana spell, he was only threatening to cast some super magical spell. He knew what he was doing. He was making the policemen fire on him to show all the proles, all the tens of thousands of proles, what would happen if they went ahead with this revolution and violence. I collapse as soon as the volley of magic attack ceases. I can't move anything, not even a finger. Before I black out, I catch a glimpse of Elise, Aretha, Judy, and Jisung running. There's panic on their faces. I leave the rest in your hands, my friends. Elise, you might have changed, but after all that's been said, you're still that same naive girl I met 5 years ago, aren't you? What was that about living without magic? You can't live without magic, silly. Life changes so much in the span of just a decade, let alone 3 centuries. A peaceful revolution? What revolution is ever peaceful? That's just a fairy tale. Oh man, and I had to be the one who delivered that stupid speech. History will remember me as someone who died a martyr after giving a patently absurd speech. It's almost as absurd as trying to fix a broken piano with compassion. Oh my gosh. Wow, we remember that, don't we? But you know what else, Elise? As absurd as it is, this time, I believe in you. Because, why not? And that's the end of Franz, it looks like. I said, stop. Why did everyone attack him, Wolf says. But he was going to cast, well, something. He didn't have hands, you fool. He couldn't have cast anything. But we definitely felt something. I don't know what it was, but there was definitely something like magic. I also felt it, but it was weird. I know now he didn't cast any magic, but at that time I was so sure he had cast something. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I felt the same thing. It was very strange. Proles say, "Oh gods, what just happened? Amadeus is dead. Amadeus has been killed by the police. What are we going to do now? Kill the police. Avenge our leader. Yeah, how could we go home peacefully after they killed our big brother? Oh shit." Jisung says, "Stop it. Everyone stop fighting. Didn't you listen to Amadeus? No one fights anymore. That is not the revolution that Amadeus wanted. Don't get yourself killed for nothing. We have a responsibility to carry on the revolution without violence. Get inside the conservatory, control the situation, restore order, and make sure Lord Godwin and Professor Poe are safe." "Yes, ma'am." "What are you going to do to the proles? With tens of thousands of people? I'm not going to do anything." "What did you have in mind? It's not like we can put all these people in jail. There's not even enough cells for them. Besides, most of these people are factory workers. Magical Mechanical would go nuts if their workers couldn't go to work. The economy would shut down." Now we're back to Elise. "Franz." I shake Franz's body, hoping he'll wake up. Silence. "Franz." I call out his name, hoping he'll answer. More silence. Like a piano that doesn't sing, Franz has become mute. "Franz, no." With a trembling hand, I touch his chest. There's no heartbeat, no movement to suggest any kind of breathing. "No." My tears well up and fall on his cheek. And Aretha says, "Franz." Judy says, "No way, why?" I can hear Aretha and Judy sobbing. "You were a terrible person, Franz. You made not one, not two, but 3 girls cry. It's not fair. This is not fair. I still haven't punished you. You still haven't apologized for being Amadeus. You still haven't apologized for making Frederick die. You still haven't apologized for inciting a riot. Did you think you could make everything all right just by dying?" The sound of my weeping and sobbing is getting louder. Tears won't stop streaming down my cheeks. I can't do anything except looking at Franz's lifeless body through my wet tears. Neither Judy nor Aretha says anything. Only the sounds of their weeping can be heard. "Franz. No, not like this. I'm sorry, Franz. I can't let you off the hook this easy." She's going to revive him, isn't she? I raise a hand over Franz's dimmed, hollow eyes as if to shield them from the unsightliness of life. Or perhaps it looks as if I were giving a blessing to the dead soul. Compassion. Transform. Amplify. Original story, that's it, guys. That was a long episode. Damn. And it's pretty good, but that was a little bit longer than I thought it had to be honest with you. I thought it was going to end a while back. But that was pretty good. It's kind of crazy how yesterday we started the episode yesterday, and within like 15 or 20 minutes the whole game was over. And then I went back. We made a choice at the very beginning of yesterday, and 15 minutes later the path we decided was over. And so I went back because it was only a 15-minute live stream. And I'm like, well, let's choose to fight. Let's choose to have Franz fight Frederick instead. And that path has basically lasted 2.5 hours yesterday, 3.5 hours today, 6 hours. So one path lasted 15 minutes, another path lasted 6 hours. That's how different the choices you make in this particular visual novel are. I don't think I've ever seen a visual novel where your choices matter to that degree. But two completely different paths based on the choices we made. Zax, can you tell me what that is? I've never seen this. It's in the title. It's in the description. You can click the link in the description. This is an Octave Higher. It's a visual novel. A lot of reading, guys. A lot of reading. But that, guys, almost 4 hours tonight. Here I was saying that I didn't want any of these episodes for this game to be more than about an hour and a half, and here, this one's almost 4 hours long. I do apologize. I didn't really want to make one this long. If I would have known it was going to be 4 hours, I would have broke this up into at least 2 different episodes and continued this next week. But I kept feeling like it was going to end like in 15 minutes, and I didn't want to end it again and then come back Monday and have it be over in 10 minutes. So I just kept reading and reading and reading, and it took a long time. Yeah, I didn't want to stop it and come back Monday and have it be over in 2 minutes or something. You're like, damn, I should have just kept going. But that was one long episode. That's what happens when you don't know, when you have no idea when or how it's going to end. So it definitely kept us on our feet. All right, Sweetable, Saya Shark, you just came in here. Falconer, I know Falconer's been here for a lot of this. Dr. Reichtiffen has been here for quite a bit. Thank you guys all for being here. How did you guys like an Octave Higher? Huh. The kids are running around the broken piano. Huh, wow. What the heck? That's an interesting end scene there. Wow. Fine. Fine? That's... Huh, interesting. Achievement unlocked, why not? So how much of this game did we uncover? 95%. Okay, so we uncovered 95% of what this story offers. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So even if we went back and made different choices or whatever, you know, to try to get that other 5%, for the most part, we uncovered 95% of this this visual novel. Good stuff. I watch a lot more than just a stream. Zax is one of my favorite streamers. Yeah, thanks, Falconer. Glad you think that. That's some pretty nice words, man. Yep. That was interesting. Yeah. I think this path here was a lot longer than it needed to be honest with you. I don't think that I understand they went to great efforts to try to explain everything and everything like that, but from a reading perspective, even if I was reading this to myself, I still think that this path was a lot longer than it needed to be. I think they could have shortened this quite a bit and got the same, I think they could have got the same impact and the same story across in a lot less words and a lot less time. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I still don't like this as well as some. I still think I like Zombie Exodus better. I think there's still some visual novels that are probably better in my eyes, even though this was an award-winning novel. For the most part, I think this made a great point. I think there were some great things coming from an Octave Higher, and it made great points about not just an imaginary magical land of Overture, but I think there's great things that we can learn and apply to our own lives and our own reality looking at this game, you know. But I think the main point is, you know, you just like all the pros there at the end, you know, rich or poor, it doesn't matter. And you know, you don't have to be angry at the rich or your politicians or your president or your government or whatever and try to overtake them to be happy. The main thing you need to do is find your own path and be happy in your life, in your short life that you have here. And that's really what I gathered most from an Octave Higher You know, there's really never going to be, no matter what your government or what your situation is like or what the laws are like in your life, you're never really going to be happy. It's never really going to be balanced or suit everybody. Everybody's not going to be happy. But regardless, you can find your own happiness. And that's a pretty good story and a pretty good message to try to portray. And I think an Octave Higher does that well. That's what I gathered from it. I'm sure that other people might get their own messages from a visual novel this deep. Anyway, guys, I want to go and thank you guys all for being here. I am going to take a breather. Reading for 4 hours is kind of exhaustive. I need to catch my breath, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for Games of Our Lives. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. I love you guys all. Be sure, if you're watching this video after I've already recorded it, make sure you hit that like button, guys. Also, make sure you comment below in the comments and let me know what you guys thought of an Octave Higher. Thanks, everybody, for being here with me. You guys don't need mana to be happy. Well, we don't even have mana in our world, but we can be happy just like everybody in an Octave Higher. Peace, everybody. Have a good one. Make sure you go hug somebody you love. Take care, everybody.